This is breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Mai Rodriguez. A Makati Regional Trial Court issues an arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes. Let's now go to Anjo Olimario, who is on the line. Anjo, tell us more.
That's right, Mai. The Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 50 under Judge Elmo Alameda has already issued an order. Alameda grants the motion of the Justice Department to issue an arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes in a whole departure order against him. And part of the dispositive portion of Judge Alameda's order is to set bail for Trillanes' temporary liberty. It is fixed at 200,000 pesos. It's the same amount set by Judge Alameda on February 16, 2010. And if you will recall, this case has already been dismissed in 2011 on the basis that then President Aquino granted amnesty to Trillanes. But of course, President Duterte nullified that amnesty, and that became the basis of the prosecution to ask the Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150 to revive the case and to issue an arrest order against Trillanes. Again, this in connection with the rebellion case against Trillanes.
Anjo, I'm reading a copy of the order, and it says here, last April 19, 2010, the court granted bail to accused Trillanes, who was charged with a crime of rebellion in the amount of 200,000 pesos. So Judge Elmo Alameda is setting the same amount for this case that they want to revive, as I understand it. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mike. That's stated also in the recent and just recently released order of Judge Alameda that the bail for Trillanes' temporary liberty is still fixed at 200,000 pesos. So nothing changes. So, but again, an arrest order has been issued against the senator, Mike.
Again, of course, if you remember, this was because of the proclamation order issued by President Duterte last August 31. This is after Proclamation 572 was issued that nullifies the amnesty granted to Trillanes back in 2011. Tell us now, Anjo, is the court expected to, or when is the court expected to serve this arrest order against Trillanes?
We understand, Maya, that we're actually receiving reports that the court sheriff is already on its way to the Senate and actually also to the DOJ to serve parties the copy of the resolution of the order of Judge Alameda, informing, of course, about this latest development that an arrest order has been issued against Senator Trillanes. So we understand that the court sheriff has with him the copy of the actual arrest order together with the PNP who will be escorting the court sheriff and to serve the arrest order against Trillanes.
Of course, we are also waiting for the statement or comment of Senator Antonio Trillanes, who has been holed up at the Senate. But tell us, Anjo, the court sheriff, as you said, is also expected to give a copy of this arrest order to the DOJ, which petitioned for an alias arrest warrant against Trillanes, as I recall. Can you tell us about the DOJ's motion?
That's right, Mike. Actually, the DOJ filed two separate motions, one at Branch 148 and the other one for Branch 150. Branch 148, it concerns the coup d'etat case against Trillanes, and for the 150, you have the rebellion case. Both, again, dismissed on the basis that Trillanes has got amnesty, but again, you have President Duterte nullifying that amnesty of Trillanes. So the prosecution is insisting that the case is not yet terminated, it is still alive, and they have yet to present evidence as far as the rebellion case of Senator Trillanes is concerned. But again, you have Trillanes going to the Supreme Court asking the High Court basically to nullify, to declare unconstitutional what President Duterte did. But unfortunately, Trillanes failed to get a temporary restraining order to stop the implementation of this order. And of course, the High Court told the lower court to proceed with the trial at the lower court. So basically, we're just waiting now for the lower courts to proceed with the trial itself. We understand that at Branch 150, the prosecution has yet to present evidence against Trillanes, whereas for the coup d'etat case of Trillanes at 148. The case is already done. It's just for promulgation, actually. So we'll wait for. So we'll wait if Branch 148 will issue another arrest order. We'll follow what Judge Alameda did, that he issued a arrest order against Trillanes, Mai.
All right, thank you, Andrew Alimario. We will check on you in a little while. Let's now go to the Senate, where our Cecil Lardizabal, our senior correspondent, is standing by. Also, we are waiting for a statement from Senator Antonio Trillanes, who is at the Senate. He is expected to hold a press conference in a bit. Again, this is about this breaking news. A Makati court has issued an arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes. This is in relation to the proclamation order, Proclamation 572, issued by President Rodrigo Duterte last August 31. That proclamation nullifies the amnesty granted to Senator Antonio Trillanes back in 2007. The palace said in this proclamation order that Trillanes failed to comply with the minimum requirements of the amnesty granted to Trillanes back in 2011 by then President Noynoy Aquino. Of course, Senator Antonio Trillanes failed to get relief from the Supreme Court. Justices denied his plea a few weeks ago for a stay order. A temporary restraining order, or TRO, would have stopped the implementation of President Duterte's proclamation order. Let's now go to our senior correspondent, Cecil Lardizabal, who is at the Senate. Cecil, what are we expecting there?
Yes, Mai. Right now, Senator Antonio Trillanes is conducting a hearing on the Committee on Social Justice, Welfare, and Rural Development. And after this, all media, Senate media, are now preparing for a press conference by the senator. But right now, we are awaiting any moment from now. Senator Trillanes will be wrapping up this hearing. We were told in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes or so, he'll be starting his press conference. And right now, a lot of people, a lot of media organizations are here already awaiting for the development. And, well, we have known that, yeah. Yes,
live pictures right now of Senator Antonio Trillanes. He is right now conducting a hearing.
That's right.
What is this hearing all about?
It's about the Committee on Social Justice, Welfare, and Rural Development as the vice chairman. This is actually a committee by Senator Laila de Lima, and as the vice chairperson, he's the one representing Senator Laila de Lima. And right now, yes, as we speak, the senator is conducting a hearing, and we were told that in about 5 minutes or so, he'll be wrapping things up here, and he'll be transferring to the other room next to this room, which is the Sumulong room, and he'll be having his press conference. We were just talking to the staff of Senator Trillanes, and we were told that they knew about the arrest warrant by the Makati RTC, and that they have prepared for this. But we have heard the senator a long time ago, several times, he has said that he will not resist arrest. And that is what the senator has told the media even before, that if there will be any warrant of arrest to be issued against him, he won't resist arrest. So we will be waiting for the senator as he will conduct this press conference. The media organizations are here already awaiting for the words that will be told by the senator himself, as he. We know that he is already preparing for that eventuality.
All right, Cecil, we will get back to you in a bit. Let's now talk to PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde now on the line. Good afternoon, General Albayalde.
Mike. Good afternoon.
Sir, what do we expect to happen today? Dahil naglabas na po ng arrest warrant ang Makati RTC against Senator Antonio Trillanes. Kailan po isa-serve ang warrant na to? We were talking earlier to our correspondent Anjo Alimario at sabi po niya, yung sheriff po ay papunta na po sa Senado to serve this arrest warrant?
Yes, the sheriff will be together with the chief of police of Makati and elements from the CIDG. But of course, yung warrant kasi nga, o yung case niya is bailable. So the bail is fixed at 200,000. So the senator can post bail anytime also.
Oh, so paano po itong mangyayari? Maghihintay po ba for the senator to post bail? Of course. Ano po ba ang process?
Well, he'll be documented. Pwede naman dun sa Senate siya ma-document, and then he can post bail anytime also. Kung ayaw niyang makulong or he doesn't want to be under the custody, he can post bail. That is karapatan kasi ngayon.
So, ano po ang order doon sa PNP personnel or CIDG personnel? I understand you said that Chief of Police of Makati will also be among those to serve the arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes. Ano po ang order sa kanila? Will they be standing by at the Senate premises? Of course, sabi din po ni Senate President Tito Soto before na walang arrest dapat ang mangyayari inside Senate premises.
Yes, then the warrant will be served. The policemen will have to coordinate with the Senate President. Hindi po yan isa-serve na basta-basta papasok yung ating mga pulis. They have to coordinate and give courtesy to the Senate and of course to the Senate President.
Sino po ang point person nyo doon sa mga personnel na magsuserve dapat ng arrest warrant dito kay Senator Antonio Trillanes?
The Chief of Police of Makati, Senior Superintendent Simon.
Okay, so dapat siya po ang mag-coordinate naman dito kay Senate President Tito Soto?
Yes, of course.
Apo, any words po, last words para doon sa mga sa personnel ng PNP or police forces? Kasi po, syempre, dati po, if you remember, my tension dati doon sa Senate premises dahil during this time na inaabangan nila yung, sabi, anytime na raw, pwedeng arestuhin si Senator Trillanes. May advice po kayo sa PNP?
Yes, of course, we've directed them to closely coordinate with the good Senate President before they effect the arrest. No? And we foresee no problem with the service of warrant naman. At I think we will also exercise maximum tolerance there. Yan naman yung direktiba natin sa ating mga kapulisan.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you for your time. General Oscar Albayalde, Chief of the PNP. Our Rex Remitio is now on the line from the Makati RTC. Rex, what can you tell us?
That's right, Mai. The Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150 confirms a sheriff named Joseph Carrion is now on its way to the Senate. Carrion will serve the arrest warrant and hold departure order against opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes. Now it's up to Trillanes if he will post a bail. If he does, he has to personally appear here at the Makati Branch 150. So far, the court has been surrounded by members of the media waiting for the court to release a copy of the documents, but the court has been refusing to release the copies until the warrant has been served by Carrion to Trillanes at the Senate. Mai.
All right, Rex, tell us more about this arrest warrant issued by the Makati RTC Branch 150. This is penned by Judge Elmo Alameda. Tell us about yung mga stipulations doon sa arrest order.
Well, on August 31, 2018, President Duterte issued Proclamation Number 572, revoking the amnesty grant to Senator Trillanes under Proclamation Number 75, Series of 2010, issued by former President Aquino, and On April 19, 2010, the court granted bail to accused Trillanes, who was charged with a crime of rebellion. Then afterwards, 3 months after, Trillanes posted a bail, but President Aquino granted amnesty against Trillanes and other members of the armed forces who were involved in series of mutinies in the previous years. But 3 weeks ago, President Duterte revoked his amnesty, and Trillanes only stayed at the Senate. He holed up there for at least almost 3 weeks now. But then we will later know if Trillanes will post a bail here at the Makati Branch 150. Mai.
All right, Rex, we will get back to you in a bit. Thank you for that report. Again, this is breaking news on CNN Philippines. The Makati RTC Branch 150 has issued an arrest warrant and hold departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes. This is also in connection to the Proclamation 572 issued by President Duterte back in August 31, which nullifies the amnesty granted to Senator Antonio Trillanes in 2011. That amnesty was granted by then President Noynoy Aquino. The palace has said Trillanes failed to comply with the minimum requirements of the amnesty. Senator Trillanes has repeatedly questioned the validity of President Duterte's proclamation number 572, which voids the amnesty granted to him by then President Aquino. He went to the Supreme Court but failed to get a TRO from the Supreme Court that would have stopped the issuance of an arrest warrant and hold departure order against him. We are waiting for Senator Antonio Trillanes to hold a press conference. His staff said earlier that he will hold a press conference at the Senate. If you remember, President Duterte has also said that no arrest will happen without an arrest warrant issued by the courts. Trillanes has been placed under the custody of Senate President Tito Soto, who vowed not to allow his arrest within the Senate premises. Weeks ago, also, all the senators agreed that no arrest should happen inside the Senate premises, and that the Senate Sergeant at Arms has been directed to convey this to apprehending officers. You're looking at live pictures of Senator Antonio Trillanes. He is at the Senate. We are standing by to hear from him. Meanwhile, we now speak to presidential spokesperson, Harry Roque. Good afternoon, Secretary.
Good afternoon.
Sir, yung reaction po nyo dito sa breaking news, the Makati court has issued an arrest warrant and hold departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes.
Well, the president was firm in Israel that he will allow the civilian court, the regional trial court, to decide on the matter of issuing the warrant of arrest. And now that the RTC has issued it, we're now hoping that the Senator Trillanes will likewise respect the order of the said court. We have to abide with the rule of law. We abided with it, and we expect the senator to do nothing less.
Secretary, pero posible din po na no arrest can happen today because bail has been set for Senator Antonio Trillanes at 200,000 pesos, and the PNP has said, we were talking to PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, that they will wait for the processes to take place. Posible po na mag-file or mag-post pa ng bail si Senator Trillanes.
Well, I'm not his lawyer. His lawyer can give him the proper advice. But what's important is if there's a warrant of arrest and there's no bail that's been approved by the court, that we should not disrespect the lawful issuance of the court, and that he should voluntarily surrender to the court. The matter of bail will also be addressed by the court, but meanwhile, he must surrender because that is the procedure. Now, the court must have jurisdiction over his person.
Secretary, alam na po ba ni President Duterte itong latest development na ito, and ano po ang reaction niya?
Well, I have not personally told him, but I will call him right after this call.
All right, final words po, Secretary Roque.
Well, we all live in a peaceful society because of the rule of law. Ang presidente po pwede namang binaliwala niya yung mga hukuman, pwede niyang sahang pinagdakip si Senator Trillanes dahil meron pa po mga unresolved kaso siya sa military tribunal. Hindi po niya ginawa yan dahil ang gobyerno naman ang pumunta at tumulog doon sa Regional Trial Court. Pero kinakailangan po lahat ng mga mamamayan, lalong-lalo na yung mga matataas ng katungkulan, ay sumunod po sa proseso ng batas at galangin ang mga order ng ating mga hukuman.
All right, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your time, Secretary Harry Roque. Again, breaking news on CNN Philippines. A Makati court has issued an arrest warrant and hold departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes. This is in connection with the proclamation 572 issued by President Rodrigo Duterte on August 31, which nullifies the amnesty granted to Trillanes back in 2011. We have word that the Chief of Police of Makati and a sheriff from the RTC, Sheriff Joseph Carrion, are now on their way to the Senate to hand this arrest order against the senator. We are waiting for that press conference expected at the Senate. Senator Antonio Trillanes is expected to hold a press conference at the Senate anytime now. And we are showing you right now live pictures from the Senate. Senator Trillanes there was holding a hearing earlier, and we are waiting for a statement or a reaction from him.
Suspended.
At live pictures from the Senate, Senator Antonio Trillanes over there is expected to hold a press briefing anytime now. We are waiting if he will go back to his office to hold that media briefing. We were told earlier by his staff that he will speak to the press anytime now. Senator Antonio Trillanes has repeatedly questioned the validity of President Duterte's proclamation number 572, which voids the amnesty granted to him by then President Aquino. The Makati RTC Branch 150 has issued an arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes. It also issued a hold departure order against the senator. This is in connection with the proclamation number 572 issued by President Duterte. Live pictures from the Senate. Senator Antonio Trillanes is talking to his lawyer right now. We are waiting to hear from him. Just a background of the cases against Trillanes. The senator insisted that he complied with the requirements in filing his petition for amnesty. And he said that otherwise he wouldn't have received immunity in 2011 if he did not do the necessary paperwork. And he said back then, a few weeks ago, that he filed for his amnesty in 2010. If you just tuned in, we are showing you live pictures from the Senate. We are waiting to hear from Senator Antonio Trillanes after the Makati RTC Branch 150 issued an arrest warrant and hold departure order against him. Again, we are waiting to hear from Senator Antonio Trillanes. We are showing you live pictures right now. He is at the Senate, and anytime now he will hold a press conference. We that after his press conference, Senator Antonio Trillanes will go to the Makati court to post bail. Judge Elmo Alameda has set bail at 200,000 pesos. This is the same amount granted to him back in April 19, 2010, when the court granted bail to Trillanes, who was then charged with the crime of rebellion. Again, bail has been set at 200,000 pesos. Senator Trillanes posted bail back in 2010, that's July 15, 2010, in connection with this rebellion case against him. And just to give you pictures again on your screens, on your left. Live pictures from the Senate. We are waiting for the press conference of Senator Antonio Trillanes. And on your right, that's the Makati RTC, where Senator Trillanes will head to after his press conference. We just got word that he will post bail today. Bail has been set at 200,000 pesos. Let's now speak to Magdalo Representative Gary Alejano. Good afternoon, sir. Have you talked to Senator Trillanes about his next move?
Good afternoon. Before this event happened, we have been discussing with each other on the different possibilities relating to the revocation of his amnesty. And we believe that this administration will do everything in order to silence him, in order to detain him. And we know for a fact that even if Makati RTC Branch 150 would issue the warrant of arrest, he could still post bail because in 2010 he already posted bail on the amount of 200,000 pesos. But I would like to state that, we can even believe, it's very hard for us to believe that the RTC would be able to issue the warrant of arrest because the cases were all dismissed already. And before the warrant of arrest could be issued, it has a case to stand on. And before the case could be revived, there must be a determination of, the revocation of the amnesty. And the executive committee cannot do that unilaterally. The court can do that, but they have to go through the process of accepting evidence and going through the determination and appreciation of all the events that happened in January of 2011 before they could even decide. And we should also note that the Supreme Court has ordered the lower courts to conduct fact-finding because the Supreme Court is not a trier of facts. And I believe that after the conduct of fact-finding, the lower court should have communicated to the Supreme Court their findings so that the Supreme Court would be able to determine whether Proclamation 572 is constitutional or unconstitutional. But nonetheless, we discussed, although we together with Senator Trillanes, that some miracle that RTC would issue warrant of arrest, he will not resist that arrest. He will come with an arresting officer if need be, but we know that we need to file or post bail before the RTC.
Congressman Alejano, can you help us understand paano po dumating sa puntong ito na nakapag-issue ng arrest warrant ang Makati RTC Branch 150 when you also pointed out earlier and before, weeks ago, yung camp nga ni Senator Trillanes at pati po kayo, you pointed out that yung kaso na rebellion and coup d'etat against Senator Trillanes have been dismissed already.
Kaya nga medyo nalabuan kami, maliwanag naman that somebody gave in to the pressures of Malacanang. Dahil as I mentioned earlier, bago mag-issue ng warrant of arrest, na yun naman ang request ng DOJ, there must be an existing cases. And since all the cases were already dismissed, And before it can revive the cases, the amnesty should be revoked first. Hindi lang yan ng decision ng Executive Committee o yung kanyang appreciation, yung kanyang decision, but it has to go through the courts. And meron pa namang kaso sa Supreme Court, no? It has to be determined first whether constitutional or not. Aside from the fact that amnesty is not a unilateral action of the Executive Department. There's a participation by Congress by issuing a concurrence to Proclamation 75 that granted amnesty to the Magdalo soldiers. So therefore, there's a question also of, revoking, reviving the case, and then eventually issuing warrant of arrest. I'm not a lawyer, but it seems absurd that they are, cutting the process short, and it would appear that they are being pressured to issue that warrant.
Mm-hmm. Well, sinabi nga dati ni Senator Trillanes na yung basis ng Proclamation number 572 that he did not apply for amnesty personally. Sabi ni Trillanes isang malaking kapalpakan at kasinungalingan. Dati pa niyang sinasabi na ito nga ay political persecution galing ng Malacanang.
Yes, maliwanag na political persecution yan kasi if the basis are first, he did not personally file his amnesty application. That's a total lie because kasama ako doon sa nag-apply, kasama ng Trillanes together with 19 officers and 20 enlisted personnel na pumunta noong January 5, 2011 at the General Camp Aguinaldo Clubhouse, Officers Clubhouse. Nandoon po kami, nag-submit kami at nagsumpa. Aside from that, it was well covered by media. Na-cover yun, na nag-submit siya, and then nag-take oath siya before the administrating officer. And also they have the affidavits of the head of Secretariat of the DND Ad Hoc Amnesty Committee stating there, and even the head of the Amnesty Committee stating there that Senator Trillanes have complied with all the requirements and he has gone through the process and therefore they believe that he has qualified for the amnesty. So in spite of that, at saka yung sinasabi na non-admission of guilt, they're thinking that the application is a different document as that of the admission of guilt. No, they are one and the same. Yung admission of guilt is contained in the application form wherein you have to sign, it's stated there, I hereby acknowledge participation to those events occurred in the Manila Pen incident, and you have acknowledged guilt in that participation of violation of any law under the 1987 Constitution, criminal laws, and articles of war. So pipirmahan mo doon na numpa ka sa harapan, and wala namang binibigyang kopya sa aming lahat. Walang kopya sa aming lahat. Kaya nga, I doubt whether available yung mga records. Kung nawala kay Senator Trillanes, most probably that application form is together with other application forms stuck somewhere else in the premises of Camp General Aguinaldo. So sa akin dito, maliwanag na minadali dahil yung certification na binigay ng J1 na isang lowly division chief doon na nabigla lamang sa pagbigay ng certification, na hindi naman sinabing wala, but at that point na nag-ayos sila sa kanilang opisina, hindi nila mahanap, it doesn't mean na wala na kaagad yung records. But ginamit yan as basis of Proclamation 572 the day after. The certification was issued August 30, August 31. Meron na kaagad Presidential Proclamation 572. So it's very clear that they are trying to, make do of everything in spite of the basis.
Thank you po. Thank you for talking to us, Representative Gary Alejano of the Magdalo Party List. We now speak to Senator Franklin Drilon. Good afternoon, Senator. Have you spoken to Senator Trillanes and your reaction to this issuance of an arrest warrant against Senator Trillanes?
I have not talked to Senator Trillanes, but from what I see, it's sad that this warrant of arrest is issued. The same judge who issued the warrant of arrest today was the same judge who dismissed the case about 7 years ago. He's the same judge in the same sala. And having dismissed the case 7 years ago, I could not understand how he could issue warrant of arrest based on a case which was dismissed. Number two, but having said that, this is a bailable offense, and I would advise Senator Trillanes to post bail.
Yes, we understand the staff has spoken to our correspondent over there at the Senate, and they said that the Senator Trillanes will post bail today. But what is the Senate's position, Senator Drilon, on this?
Well, there is no position needed to be taken. Posting bail is a matter of right. They cannot deny the bail because this is a rebellion charged and bailable under our laws. So,
I mean, on the issuance of the arrest warrant, sir. The issuance of the arrest warrant against Senator Trillanes.
Well, the issuance of the arrest warrant is a matter that that has already been issued. My advice is to avail of the remedies under the law. To me, the warrant of arrest is improperly issued. But since it has been issued, the next remedy available is, number one, post bail, and number two, quash and question the validity of the issuance of the warrant of arrest, but first post bail for his temporary liberty.
Senator Drilon, at this time po ba si Senator Trillanes is still under the custody of Senate President Tito Soto?
Yes, he is.
And they hold the same position, like the Senate President said before that no arrest should happen within the Senate premises, and all the senators agreed to that.
My dear, issuance of the arrest of Trillanes would not be possible the moment he posts bail on a bailable offense. So therefore, the moment he posts bail, that question of whether or not he'll be arrested is academic because he should not be arrested having posted bail.
Yes, and we are waiting for the press conference to be held by Senator Trillanes. That is going to happen any moment now. Thank you po for talking to us, Senator Franklin Drilon. Again, breaking news on CNN Philippines. The Makati RTC Branch 150 has issued an arrest warrant and hold departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes. This is in connection with a proclamation order of President Rodrigo Duterte that nullified the amnesty granted to Trillanes in 2011. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde has assured the public that they will coordinate with the Senate in serving the arrest warrant for Senator Antonio Trillanes. Here's what he said earlier.
Together with the Chief of Police of Makati and elements from the CIDG. But of course, yung warrant kasi nga, o yung case niya is bailable. So the bail is fixed at 200,000. So the senator can post bail anytime also.
Oh, so paano po itong mangyayari? Maghihintay po ba for the senator to post bail? Of course. Ano po ba ang process?
Well, he'll be documented. Pwede naman dun sa Senate siya ma-document, and then he can post bail anytime also. Kung ayaw niyang makulong or he doesn't want to be under the custody, he can post bail. That is karapatan kasi ngayon.
So, ano po ang order doon sa PNP personnel or CIDG personnel? I understand you said that Chief of Police of Makati will also be among those to serve the arrest warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes. Ano po ang order sa kanila? Will they be standing by at the Senate premises? Of course, sabi din po ni Senate President Tito Soto before na walang arrest dapat ang mangyayari inside Senate premises.
Yes, then the warrant will be served. The policemen will have to coordinate with the Senate President. Hindi po yan isa-serve na basta-basta papasok yung ating mga pulis. They have to coordinate and give courtesy to the Senate and of course to the Senate President.
Let's now go live to the Senate. Senator Antonio Trillanes is speaking.
Judicial system, kahit pinakita na namin lahat ng ebidensya kontra dun sa kanilang mga kadahilanan kung bakit na-revoke ang aking amnesty, gayon pa rin ay inilabas pa rin itong warrant of arrest na ito. So, officially, wala na po tayong demokrasya. This case goes beyond me. Dito nakikita, wala po akong krimen na ginawa kasi nagbigyan nga ako ng amnesty 7 taon na ang nakalipas. Ito ay maliwanag na pangiipit ni Mr. Duterte sa mga kritiko niya sa politika, yung mga nagsasabi ng totoo at hindi niya maharap. Ngayon po, ang aming intensyon ay mag-post ng bail. Gaya ng sinabi ko, sasama ako sa arresting team pagka merong warrant. No matter how unjust that warrant may be, pero yun. So, after this, ano na ako, dire-diretso na kami mag-propose ng bail. Yun po. Okay?
May serve na ba yung warrant? Nandito na yung warrant of arrest?
Alam na ng buong Pilipinas. So, wala pa rito sa amin, but...
Unahan niya na.
Oo. Para ganun din yun eh.
Makati RTC number 50.
Yes, branch 150. Okay?
Pero sir, kasi di ba ito, civil court may warrant of arrest. Paano yung AFP? May information di ba na inaabangan pa rin kayo? May worry ba na baka paglabas yung after posting bail?
Well, malalaman niya yan. Malalaman niya yan. At least dito, pag nag-post ako ng bail, ayan na yan, maliwanag na yan. So,
Wala kayong muli na ma-intercept?
I'm sure you will know. Di ba? Kung i-interceptin na ako nila and arrestuin for another reason, di yun. But for all intents and purposes, nanaig ang kadiliman at kasamaan dito sa ating bayan. So, kung ano man ang mangyari sa hinaharap, ay nasa kamay na ng sambayan ng Pilipinas. Bahala na yung mga lawyers about it. But for now, that's the decision. Okay? Well, may session dito, may trabaho tayo, ganun po yan.
Pero mag-stay pa rin kayo dito, Sean?
Kung hindi na ako arrestuhin, di ba? So we need the final judgment on the matter.
Sir, do you think it has something to do doon sa sinasabi na parang yung Magdalo daw nakikipagsabuatan para doon sa pagpapabagsak sa Duterte administration kaya pinatatahin kayo?
It has nothing to do with anything, except dun sa gigil at pagiging bengador ni Duterte at ng kanyang mga alagad. Kung ano man yung mga dahilan na yan, mga palusot na yan, wala na yan. Na blanco ko na yan. Ipinakita ko lahat ng dapat ipakita na ako po ay nag-file ng amnesty. Meron kami mga testigong pininisenta. Nag-admit ako ng guilt. Nakasaad doon. At lahat ng requirements sa amnesty ay ginampanan ko. Kaya nga naging valid yung amnesty. Ganun din, pinakita ko rin na ang pumirma ng aking amnesty proclamation ay si President Aquino, contrary doon sa sinasabi ni Duterte. At yung certificate na sinasabi ay ganun din sa mga ibang nagbenepisyo ng amnesty ay hindi Presidente ang pumipirma kung hindi yung mga amnesty commissions. Pero Presidente ang nag-grant ng amnesty. Kumaga talagang walang lusot. So dito ay pinwersa, binaluktot ang batas at kaya nga nag-fail ito ang ating demokrasya at mga institusyon. So I'll need to stop on that para mapiyansa.
So, palis na, Senator.
Sige, salamat po.
Okay, yan. Papunta na.
One of the president's staunchest critics there, Senator Antonio Trillanes, speaking to the media after a Makati court issued a warrant of arrest and hold departure order against him over a rebellion case following the president's issuance of Proclamation 572 voiding his amnesty. Senator Trillanes was saying wala na tayong demokrasya. Ito ay pang-iipit sa mga kritiko ni President Duterte. He said that he will go with the arresting team if they have a warrant, but he said that he will post bail today after that press conference. And he also said pinwersa at binaluktot ang batas. Senator Trillanes has repeatedly questioned the voiding of his amnesty. He insisted that he complied with the requirements. Otherwise, he wouldn't have given immunity in 2011. And if he did not do the necessary paperwork, and he said he filed the petition for amnesty in 2010. Just to give you a background, during the administration of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Trillanes was involved in 3 mutiny attempts: the Oakwood Mutiny in July 2003, the Marine Standoff in February 2006, and the Manila Peninsula incident in 2007. Trillanes has said that his cases of coup d'etat and rebellion were already dismissed, and Trillanes and the other Magdala soldiers involved were given amnesty by President Benigno Aquino III in November 2010 under Proclamation number 75. Again, this is CNN Philippines breaking news. A Makati court has issued a warrant against Senator Antonio Trillanes, a fierce critic of President Duterte. This is over a rebellion case following the president's issuance of Proclamation 572 voiding his amnesty. Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150 Judge Elmo Alameda ordered Trillanes' arrest just a few hours ago, granting the motion of the Department of Justice. Bail has been set at 200,000 pesos. Again, we are showing you live pictures from the Senate. Senator Trillanes speaking now with Vice President Leni Robredo and earlier Senator Bam Aquino over there. We understand he will proceed to the Makati RTC to post bail. Again, bail has been set at 200,000 pesos. Just to give you a background on the motion filed by the DOJ following the publication of Proclamation 572, the Department of Justice sought an alias warrant and a travel ban against Senator Antonio Trillanes from 2 Makati courts that handled the cases involving the Magdalo Group in 2003 and 2007. This is after the issuance of Proclamation number 572, which nullifies the amnesty granted to Senator Antonio Trillanes in 2010 by then President Noynoy Aquino. In 2011, I'm sorry. Earlier, I spoke with presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Let's listen to what he said. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Good afternoon, Secretary.
Good afternoon.
Sir, yung reaction po nyo dito sa breaking news, the Makati court has issued an arrest warrant and whole departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes.
Well, the president was firm in Israel that he will allow the civilian court, the regional trial court, to decide on the matter of issuing the warrant of arrest. And now that the RTC has issued it, we're now hoping that the Senator Trillanes will likewise respect the order of the said court. We have to abide with the rule of law. We abided with it, and we expect the senator to do nothing less.
Secretary, pero posible din po na no arrest can happen today because bail has been set for Senator Antonio Trillanes at 200,000 pesos, and the PNP has said, we were talking to PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, that they will wait for the processes to take place. Posible po na mag-file or mag-post pa ng bail si Senator Trillanes.
Well, I'm not his lawyer. His lawyer can give him the proper advice. But what's important is if there's a warrant of arrest and there's no bail that's been approved by the court, that we should not disrespect the lawful issuance of the court, and that he should voluntarily surrender to the court. The matter of bail will also be addressed by the court, but meanwhile, he must surrender because that is the procedure. Now, the court must have jurisdiction over his person.
Secretary, alam na po ba ni President Duterte itong latest development na ito, and ano po ang reaction niya?
Well, I have not personally told him, but I will call him right after this call.
All right, final words po, Secretary Roque.
Well, you know, we all live in a peaceful society because of the rule of law. Ang presidente po pwede namang binaliwala niya yung mga hukuman, pwede niyang puwersahang pinagdakip si Senator Trillanes dahil meron pa po mga unresolved kaso siya sa military tribunal. Hindi po niya ginawa yan dahil ang gobyerno naman ang pumunta at tumulog doon sa Regional Trial Court. Pero kinakailangan po lahat ng mga mamamayan, lalong-lalo na yung mga matataas ng katungkulan, ay sumunod po sa proseso ng batas at galangin ang mga order ng ating mga hukuman.
We're showing you live pictures from the Senate. Let's listen in.
Sir, message. Message sa mga kasama ko. Ako na kanina. Ay, let's go down kay SP kasi kailangan mo.
Okay, we're showing you live pictures from the Senate. Senator Antonio Trillanes there. After his press conference earlier, he said he will post bail at the Makati RTC. Bail has been set at 200,000 pesos by Judge Elmo Alameda. The Makati RTC branch 150 has issued an arrest warrant and whole departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes. This is in connection to the proclamation issued by President Duterte, proclamation number 572, that nullified the amnesty granted to Trillanes. Earlier, Senator Trillanes was speaking to the media. He said, and I quote, "Wala na tayong demokrasya. Ito ay pangiipit sa mga kritiko ni President Duterte." This is in reaction to the Makati Court's issuance of an arrest warrant against him. He said he will go with the arresting team if they have a warrant, but he will post bail today. Bail has been set at 200,000 pesos after that press conference earlier. He also said, and I quote, "Pinuwersa at binaluktot ang batas." Trillanes has insisted he complied with the requirements of the amnesty that he filed. He was granted amnesty by then President Noynoy Aquino. We will continue to monitor this breaking news story. Stay tuned. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on CNN Philippines.
CNN Philippines. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, ordered arrested by a Makati court. He is in the Makati police station. From there, he's going to be heading to the Makati RTC branch 150. Trillanes was escorted by the PNP from the Senate to the Makati police station. He said he would not wait for the court sheriff of the Makati RTC or any arresting officer to take custody of him at the Senate. He said he would earlier he had said that he had decided to go to the Makati PNP himself and to present himself before the court, where he is expected to post bail 200,000 pesos for his temporary liberty. Now, earlier today, Judge Elmo Alameda had issued that warrant for his arrest. It's an alias warrant, actually, and a whole departure order for rebellion charges. And also, Senator Trillanes spoke to the media moments after receiving the news that an arrest warrant had been issued against him.
Ito, gaya nung sinasabi ko last week, ang itong mga petisyon namin sa korte ay isang pagsubok sa tibay ng ating demokrasya, ng ating judicial system. Kahit ipinakita na namin lahat ng ebidensya kontra dun sa kanilang mga kadahilanan kung bakit na-revoke ang aking amnesty, gayon pa rin ay inilabas pa rin itong warrant of arrest na ito. So, officially, wala na po tayong demokrasya.
Senator Trillanes, of course, a very severe critic of President Duterte. From the very beginning, he was, described as an attack dog against President Rodrigo Duterte. He was famous for daring the president to go to a bank in Ortigas to prove that he does not have millions or billions in a bank account there. Trillanes had also repeatedly dared Duterte to sign a waiver to open any and all bank accounts. This has been going on for the last 2 years, ever since Duterte became president, and now it's come to this. Of course, when we say this, the question now is how do we get to this point? Of course, we all remember President Duterte declared Trillanes' amnesty void. That was by way of issuing a proclamation, 572, dated August this year, but only made public in a newspaper advertisement in the first week of September. Now that amnesty was granted by former President Aquino back in 2010 for Trillanes' participation in the Oakwood Mutiny of 2003 and the Manila Peninsula Siege of 2007. Now, at that time, Malacanang had claimed that Trillanes, in Proclamation 572, that Trillanes did not fulfill 2 minimum requirements for his amnesty, which is why they wanted the amnesty declared void ab initio. And they said for 2 reasons: 1, that he did not apply, and 2, that he did not admit guilt. Now, by the time that Trillanes had proved he had applied, he did, and that he did admit guilt. The palace then began to insist that for an amnesty to stand on solid ground, that it should be the president himself who signs that amnesty. The problem, of course, is that an amnesty proclamation is signed and issued by the president, but the amnesty itself is signed by the defense secretary because he is the alter ego of the president. And this, of course, is true for all amnesties that have been granted in post-Marcos administrations. Now, of course, we've come to this. Let's go first back to the Makati police station. Now, Rex Remigio is waiting at the Makati RTC. Like we said, Branch 150, Judge Elmo Alameda had issued that arrest warrant and hold departure order. Let's talk first to Rex to find out from the Makati PNP and we showed the mugshots that were taken earlier of the center, where Trillanes is going to the Makati RTC. What's going to happen there, Rex? Rex?
At the Makati Regional Trial Court for his posting of his bail at the Branch 150 in connection to his rebellion case. Branch 150 Clerk of Court Attorney Jospa Valencia says he is expected to pay 200,000 pesos for his temporary liberty. Just a while ago, he underwent booking procedure at the Makati Police Headquarters. His mugshots and fingerprints were taken. Trillanes looks defiant. His face looks really serious. He's accompanied by the police, led by Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eliazar and Senator Bam Aquino. In a nutshell, Valencia justified the issuance of arrest warrant and hold departure order against Senator Trillanes. She says Trillanes failed to show any proof that he filed his application for amnesty, whether it's the original or a duplicate copy. This includes the proof that he personally accomplished and filed with the Defense Department his amnesty application form. The Makati RTC Branch 150 also maintains the principle of double jeopardy, which is unconstitutional, does not apply in Trillanes' case. This after his rebellion case was revived after it was dismissed in September 7, 2012, since it was dismissed upon Trillanes' motion. So again, just to backtrack, when Judge Elmo Alameda released the order early this afternoon, he subsequently issued the arrest warrant and the whole departure order. This was received by the arresting officer led by Makati Police Chief Senior Superintendent Rogelio Simon and Sheriff Joseph Carrion. Then they served the arrest warrant to Trillanes. They brought him from the Senate to the Makati City Police for booking procedures. Until now, we're still waiting for Trillanes.
Yes,
we'll give you the latest once he arrives.
Yeah, Rex, can you tell us, you mentioned that the judge had explained that double jeopardy does not apply in this case. We all know, of course, double jeopardy. Hindi ka, in other words, in short and simple language, hindi ka pwedeng litisin sa isang kaso or sa isang allegation or charge kung nalitis ka na tungkol doon, hindi ba? So you're saying that the judge is saying this does not apply because why again?
Ayon kay Judge Elmo Alameda, dahil nga nauna nang na-dismiss yung nauna niyang kaso upon doon sa motion na final niya noong 2011 pa. At ayon nga rin kay Judge Alameda, hindi nag-a-apply dito yung double jeopardy. Mag-a-apply lamang ito kung merong valid indictment or nagkaroon ng sa isang court ng competent jurisdiction kapag nagkaroon ng arraignment at nagkaroon ng plea na pinasok ni Trillanes at kung nagkaroon ng acquittal o conviction dito kay Trillanes. Ngunit ayon nga sa Branch 150 ay hindi nag-fall itong mga na to.
Sa Branch 150 itong kaso na ito hindi na dismiss. Na-dismiss, hindi ba?
Ayon nga dito sa nilabas na order ng Branch 150, hindi nag-a-apply yung principle ng double jeopardy. Dahil, ayun nga, na-dismiss nga ito dun nga sa motion ni Trillanes noong 2011.
So, ang sinasabi niya, dapat acquittal ang nangyari, hindi lang a mere dismissal.
Ayon dun sa requirements na nilabas, no, base dito sa order na nilabas ng Branch 150, bukod nga sa arraignment o kung may valid plea man o kung acquittal or conviction. Ngunit sa pagkakataong ito ay wala itong mga requirements na ito, Pia.
Okay, well, I was going to ask, but I guess this wouldn't be the time. No? So how that, ano yung implication nun sa ibang kaso? Kasi marami namang kasong nadi-dismiss, no? Hindi umaabot na sa acquittal or conviction. Pero dismiss na nga, no? Para bang na-shorten yung process, no? But you're saying that this is the reason why the judge is saying that it is possible and it is legal for him to order the arrest of Trillanes again.
Yes, ayun nga kasi na-dismiss siya noong September 7, 2011. So kahit na-revive ito ngayon ay hindi na nag-a-apply yung principle ng present case nga dito. Dahil nga yung prescription against dun sa double jeopardy, dapat na-charge siya bago dun sa kanyang naunang offense. Ngunit nga, wala namang nangyaring acquittal, walang conviction.
Yeah, okay, we're looking at live pictures right now, Rex. Senator Trillanes coming out of the Makati PNP station. He's escorted by his lawyers, of course, and several police officials. He's just, like Rex, you were describing earlier, he had just undergone booking procedures, and he is expected to proceed from here, the Makati PNP police station, to proceed to the Makati Regional Trial Court, Branch 150, where he is going to be going to have to post bail for his temporary liberty, post 200,000 peso bail. We're seeing those live pictures right now. That's what's going on. Rex, continue. Go ahead. Please continue what you're saying.
So yun, ang isa pang idinahilan ng Branch 150 doon nga sa pagkaka-grant nung order para arestuhin siya ay hindi din nakapagpresenta kasi si Trillanes ng kahit anumang proof na nag-file siya ng amnesty before the Defense Department, maging original copy man, Xerox copy or kahit anong duplicate copy, kung kaya't may sapat daw silang basihan upang mag-issue nga ng order upang maaresto itong si Trillanes. So sa ngayon nakaabang pa rin dito yung mga miyembro ng media at maraming tao nga at kahit nga raw sa baba ay marami na ring tao ang nag-aabang nga doon sa pagdating ni Senator Trillanes at mahigpit na rin yung seguridad, may mga nakapalibot ng mga pulis upang masigurado nga na walang mangyayaring kahit anong kaguluhan sa kanyang pagdating.
All right. Well, that convoy that bears Senator Trillanes on its way, just leaving the Makati PNP right now and on its way to where you are, Rex Remigio, at the Makati Regional Trial Court, Branch 150. Rex, si Judge Alameda ba nandiyan ngayon?
Andito siya ngayon, ngunit ang kanyang pina-interview ay yung kanyang clerk of court na si Attorney Jospa Valencia. Ayaw niya magbigay ng kahit anong pahayag mismo na siya yung magsasabi tungkol sa kanyang justification doon sa kanyang order, kung kahit inatasan niya itong si clerk of Court, Jospa Valencia, na magsalita before the media. Kanina, in-explain niya kung ano yung naging proseso, ano yung mga basihan kung bakit in-issue itong order, at naninindigan naman sila na may basihan yung pagkaka-issue nila noong order upang maaresto itong si Senator Trillanes.
Rex, i-review lang natin habang hinihintay natin si Senator Trillanes na makarating dyan sa Makati RTC kung saan nandyan ka. I-review lang natin dahil bago ito nangyari, yung nag-issue ng arrest alias warrant, itong si Judge Alameda at ng HDO. Siyempre, malaking issue dito na bumulabog sa bansa yung pwede bang arestuhin si Trillanes kung walang warrant of arrest dahil for the longest time, for several days, several government officials had said na pwedeng gawing basehan ng arrest yung proclamation mismo, yung Proclamation 572 na pinirmahan at inisyuhan ni President Duterte. Pero siyempre merong mga nag-insist na hindi pwedeng gamitin. At to the point na si President Duterte na mismo nagsabi na hindi naman siya papayag na arestuhin si Trillanes na walang arrest warrant galing sa isang korte. Hindi ba, Rex? And that is why, ikwento mo sa amin, Rex, yung ginawa ng mga government prosecutors, hindi ba? Lumapit sila sa dalawang korte. Hindi lang itong korte ni Judge Alameda, kundi isa pa, para nga humingi nitong mga arrest warrant.
So nung mga araw na ngayon ay lumapit rin sila sa Branch 148 upang humiling din ng isang very urgent motion upang ma-issue itong whole departure order at yung alias warrant nga laban dito kay Senator Trillanes. At inabot rin ng ilang araw, nagkaroon ng pagdinig noong September 14. At ayun, hanggang sa itong Branch 150 naman. So sa dalawang korte sila naghumiling ng mga order, no? At ito nga, naunang nag-decide itong Branch 150 na mag-issue ng arrest warrant laban dito kay Senator Trillanes. Sinasabi rin naman nila na hindi sila nagpo-forum shopping o yung lumalapit sa maraming korte upang makakuha ng resulta na paborable sa kanila. At ang sinasabi rin nila na ng DOJ, ng mga prosecutors, ay may basihan yung proclamation number 572 dahil hindi nga nakapagpresenta rin ng kahit anong kopya noong application niya for amnesty dito si Senator Trillanes sa Department of National Defense dito. So ngayon medyo nagkakagulo na nga dito at mukhang papalapit na nga si Senator Trillanes. Nakahanda na lahat sa kanyang pagdating. Pia.
Right. We're also monitoring, Rex, yung live video ng convoy ni Senator Trillanes. Of course, he's being escorted by top police officials and his lawyers so that he's proceeding from the Makati PNP to the Makati RTC. Rex, in the meantime, bago ito nangyari, itong pag-issue ng warrant of arrest, i-review natin ulit habang hinihintay natin si Senator Trillanes makarating dyan sa korte. Hindi ba na the senator was placed in the custody of the Senate President at si Tito Soto nga paulit-ulit niyang sinasabi na hindi siya papayag na magkaroon ng na arestuhin ang isang senador sa loob mismo ng Senado.
Siyempre, yun nga yung parang courtesy nga sa Senado dahil kahit kailan pa naman daw ay wala pang naaresto na doon mismo sa loob ng Senado na senador, lalo na kung walang arrest warrant. So balikan lamang din natin nung nagsimula ito lahat noong April 19, 2010 na kung saan binigyan nga ng pahintulot na magpiyansa itong si Trillanes ng 200,000 piso para doon sa kanyang rebellion, doon sa Oakwood Mutiny, doon sa Marine standoff at doon sa Manila Peninsula Incident. At matapos ang 3 buwan, nag-issue siya nag-post siya ng bail at kung kaya't ito rin yung basihan kung bakit 200,000 pesos lang yung amount ngayon na pinapayagan ng korte. At matapos naman ng 4 na buwan, noong November 24, 2010, si former President Aquino ay nag-issue ng Proclamation number 75 na nagagrant ng amnesty doon sa mga active and former personnel ng armed forces na nag-commit nga doon sa mutiny, doon sa 3 events na nabanggit ko, na siyang sinang-ayunan naman ng Kongreso noong December 13, 2010. At noong matapos ang halos isang taon, noong September 7, 2011, nag-issue naman ng korte ng motion na to dismiss yung na final ni Trillanes doon nga sa kanyang mga kaso na may kaugnayan sa rebellion. At ito rin yung basihan ngayon ng branch 150 kung kaya't walang double jeopardy na nag-apply dito dahil nga nauna na siyang na-dismiss. So dito marami ring spectators ang nakaabang, no. Yung iba sa kanila nagse-selfie bago siya makarating at nagkahagulo. So ito rin isa sa mga titingnan natin, no, sa kanyang pagdating, no, kung gaano nga ba magiging ligtas para kay Senator Trillanes yung kanyang pagpa-file o pagpo-post ng piyansa.
Alright, dumating tayo sa puntong ito sa Rex, no, dahil nga hindi pinagbigyan ng kataas-taasang hukuman ng Supreme Court ang petisyon ni Senator Trillanes, hindi ba, para matigil itong or mapigil itong proclamation ni President Duterte?
Siyempre, ibinasura nga ng Supreme Court yung kanyang motion ngon na sana'y makontra na nga yung mga kaso na ipinaparata nga sa kanya yung doon sa jurisdiction nga nung Makati Branch 150. At ayon nga rin kay Senator Trillanes, isa nga itong araw na to ay kumbaga pagkamatay ng demokrasya sa ating bansa dahil nga nanaig yung mga bagay na kumukontra nga doon sa yung sa pagiging malaya ng mga opposition lawmakers sa kanilang pagpapahayag ng dissent laban dito kay President Duterte. So ngayon nakaabang pa rin yung mga miyembro ng media dito sa harap ng branch 150. Nag-aantay din tayo kung magbibigay na ba ng pahayag itong si Judge Elmo Alameda upang mas bigyang linaw pa nga yung basihan noong kanyang order. At inaasahan natin na sa anumang minuto mula ngayon ay magpapile nga ng piyansa upang pansamantalang makalaya itong si Senator Trillanes. Pia.
Alright, Rex, i-review din natin that one particular paragraph in that the Supreme Court en banc resolution that was in response to Senator Trillanes' petition. And it says, and we quote, "The court also takes judicial notice of the categorical pronouncement of President Duterte that Senator Trillanes will not be apprehended, detained, or taken into custody unless a warrant of arrest has been issued by the trial court, and thus there is no extreme and urgent necessity for the court to issue an injunctive relief, considering that the respondents have acknowledged Senator Trillanes' right to due process," unquote. And after that, Harry Roque was quoted as saying na malapit-lapit ng makukulong si Trillanes. Of course, this was about a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and now this is what's happening. Although, Rex, like you said, since magpo-post siya ng bail, hindi naman siya makukulong. Correct?
Tama ka dyan, Pia. Pansamantala nga siya makakalaya at doon nga sa nabanggit mo na yung may binanggit nga si President Duterte na hindi pa siya pwedeng arestuin basta-basta nang walang arrest warrant. Binanggit niya ito nung siya'y nasa Jordan pa at nagbigay siya ng pahayag doon. Ito yung linggo na kung saan dapat ay aarestuhin na nga itong si Senator Trillanes at nakahanda na nga kahit yung mga personnel ng Criminal Investigation and Detection Group doon sa Senado. Ngunit pansamantala nga itong napigil matapos na mag-file nga ng motion, no? Very urgent motion itong Justice Department, yung mga prosecutors nila para sa issuance ng arrest warrant at ng whole departure order. At simula noon ay nakakubli lamang itong si Trillanes doon sa Senado sa kanyang kwarto at maya't maya ay nagbibigay ng press conference upang sabihin nga yung kanyang kaso na nabanggit nga rin ni Senator Soto na minsan yung hospitality nila doon sa pag-accommodate kay Senator Trillanes ay siyang naabuso, Pia.
Well, Rex, any moment now we expect to see Senator Trillanes on our screens because he is expected there. Expected there at the Makati Regional Trial Court. But again, let's go through what you said earlier. Ano yung proseso na kung saan siya dadaan dito ngayon sa Makati RTC?
Sa ngayon, mauuna muna siya siyempre na mag-file noong kanyang bail, yung dokumento mismo. Pupunta muna siya dito sa Makati Branch 150 sa opisina mismo upang i-file nga yung kanyang intensyon na mag-post ng bail o piyansa. Pagkatapos ay syempre babayaran niya ito sa halagang 200,000 doon sa order na isinampanga laban sa kanya. Doon naman sa may cashier sa may 10th floor, no? So nasa 14th floor itong branch 150, nasa 10th floor naman yung cashier. Pagkatapos syempre yung resibo ng kanyang pagbabayad ng piyansa at yung mga kaukulang pang dokumento ay ipapakita niya dito sa branch 150 upang mapatunayan nga na nag-post na siya ng kanyang bail. Pagkatapos noon ay maaari muna siyang makauwi. Ang aalamin pa natin kung babalik ba siya ng Senado upang doon ay patuloy na magkuble o di kaya sa kanyang tahanan mismo, Pia.
Alright, Rex, standby ka lang dyan ha. We're going to just do a little review. Earlier, yung Senate Sergeant at Arms, si General Jose Balahadia, said he had turned over custody of Senator Trillanes properly, quote-unquote, to the Philippine National Police after the Makati court issued an arrest warrant for the lawmaker.
Nung magbukas siya, nag-open siya sandali, and then nag-break kami, and then pinaakyat ko na si Eliazar.
Umakyat po siya.
Pinaakyat ko na, oo. Siyempre, siya ang may hawak ng... hindi naman ako pwede magbigay ng warrant kasi I'm not the officer in charge of the warrant. So, pinakita niya, minerandize niya si...
Ano po yung nakasulat na case?
Hindi
mo nabasa?
I'm sorry.
Sinasahan po sa namin.
Narinig ko, mirandize if you don't have... the government will give you a lawyer. Mga ganon, di ba? Mirandize yun eh. So, yun, narinig ko yun. And then, tapos na yun. Yan, bumaba na kami.
Sir, for the record lang ulit, saan nangyari yung pag-issue ng arrest warrant? Sino po nag-arrest?
Ang nangyaring pag-issue ng arrest warrant sa Senate Lounge, it was given by the arresting officer. Kasi the Sergeant at Arms cannot give, I am not the arresting officer.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, nasunod po yung proseso.
Nasunod yung proseso at saka hindi siya anaresto ng pulis dito. Binigay lang yung arrest warrant, tapos sinamahan ko siya pababa.
Kusa na siyang
Ako saan siya sumama? Wala naman.
Pero naman, sir, wala nang posas, di ba?
Wala po.
Well, hindi ko na call yun. Hindi ko na call yun. No. Nobody was arrested inside the Senate compound. Hindi violate yun. We were very clear with the police and the police understood. Naintindihan nila.
Ulitin ko lang po, hindi kasi namin nakita, hindi po siya pinasasan.
Hindi ko nakita eh. Wala. Police car, siya mismo nagsabi. Dito na ako sa police car. Okay? Pero pinasamahan ko ng mga tao ko, pinasamahan ko ng tao ng Sergeant at Arms kung hanggang saan siya pupunta. Yes. I hope so, kasi bumaba ako, naka-break pa sila eh. Eliazar. Okay naman, he was a very professional officer. And he presented the arrest warrant well. No? Hindi ko alam.
Sir, pakiulit lang po yung manner po ng pagsama ni Senator dun sa arresting group niya. Pakiulit lang po.
Bumaba siya, and then sabi niya, dyan lang ako sa inyo. Sa kanilang sasakyan. No? And, well, he went inside the vehicle. Walang gulo, walang ni ano. Basta he peacefully went inside. Tapos sinamahan na siya ng mga police. And then they went. Okay? But I turned him over first. Okay? Tinurn over ko siya.
Sir, nung oras dumating po si NCRPO chief?
I'm not very sure about the time, pero mga 2:35 thereabouts. 2:30 to... I'm not sure anymore. Hindi ko na sigurado.
So, si NCRPO po ang nagdala ng warrant of arrest?
Yes, Eliazar. Pero meron silang warrant officer eh. Meron sila.
Ay, warrant officer from the RTC po. Okay.
Sergeant at Arms of the Senate, General Jose Balahadia, recounting what had happened earlier at the Senate lounge. He said that top officials of the Philippine National Police were present when he turned over, when Balahadya turned over custody of Trillanes to them. The officials gave Senator Trillanes a copy of the arrest warrant, and Trillanes himself decided that he would go with them to the Makati PNP, to the Makati police station. As a matter of fact, Balahadya said that he escorted the senator down to the basement parking where the senator decided that he would ride in the police vehicle together with the officials. And that was what Balahadya had said had happened earlier at the Senate before Senator Trillanes left the Senate to proceed to the Makati PNP. Right now he is, as you can see, live pictures on your left, you can see the hallway that leads to branch 150 of the Makati RTC. We are waiting for a first glimpse of Senator Trillanes inside that hallway where he is expected to face the court. Earlier also we were showing you what are called mugshots provided by the NCRPO, the National Capital Region Police Office of Senator Trillanes. These were taken inside the Makati police station where Trillanes presented himself. We can see that on the right of your screens, and on the left, like I said, live pictures of what is going on at the Makati RTC, where we're expecting Senator Trillanes to appear any moment. We are told that he is in the building. We're just not sure exactly where he is, but he's there right now and waiting to proceed to branch 150. Rex Amijo still on the line there. Rex, tell us what else is going on.
Sa ngayon, nakabang pa nga rin dito yung mga empleyado ng Makati RTC Branch 150 at yung maging yung mga ibang courts dito sa 14th floor. At yung iba nga sa kanila, sabi nila ay magpapaselfie pa nga daw sila kay Senator Trillanes. Yung iba nag-aabang para mapicturean siya at talagang nakangiti sila at parang excited pa nga sila dito sa pagdating ni Senator Trillanes. Andito na nga siya sa Makati City Hall kung saan nakalocate din yung mga korte ng Makati Regional Trial Court at ayan mukhang nagtiatas na nga nila yung kanilang mga camera at mukhang andito na si Senator Trillanes, naglalakad siya at may mga kasamang pulis, kasama rin dito yung mga opposition senators na sila Senator Kiko Pangilinan at Senator Bam Aquino at marami rin siyang pulis na kasama upang masigurado nga yung kanyang seguridad. At papalapit na nga siya dito sa branch 150. Inaasahan na ngayon na ipopost niya yung kanyang bail na nagkakahalagang 200,000 piso kaugnay nung kanyang kasong rebellion. Ayon nga dito sa branch 150, pagkatapos nito ay babalik siya doon sa may cashier sa may 10th floor kasi nasa 14th floor tayo ngayon. So upang mabayaran at pagkatapos noon ay papakita niya yung resibo at iba pang kaukulang dokumento upang mapatunayan nga na nagsampa na siya ng kanyang piyansa para sa kanyang pansamantalang kalayaan, Pia.
That is a crowded hallway. Senator Trillanes arriving with other opposition senators at the office of Judge Elmo Alameda, Branch 150 of the Makati Regional Trial Court. He is expected to post bail there, just as Rex Amijo was reporting, 200,000 peso bail for his temporary liberty. We wished we could bring our cameras inside so we can see what's going on. That is not going to be allowed, of course, as expected. But you can see several companions of Senator Trillanes being allowed inside the main office of Branch 150. In the meantime, we're going to wait for Senator Trillanes to finish that process that Rex had described and then come out. I'm sure Rex, makakausap ninyo. In the meantime, can you just tell us what the mood is like? Kasama ni Senator Trillanes si Attorney Robles, hindi ba? Yung isang abogado niya. Rex?
Hello?
Rex?
Yes, Pia, we're now inside the branch 150. Apparently, the security is really strict. So our cameramen were not allowed to enter, but we're still hoping that my cameraman could go in. So Trillanes is now,
yes, well, Rex, just describe to us what's going on.
Yes, Pia. So It's really crowded here inside. Talagang magulo, no? At ayun nga, kasalukuyang nagpa-file nga ng kanyang piyansa para sa kanyang pansamantalang kalayaan. Itong si Senator Trillanes, talagang magulo. At kasama niya yung ilang mga opposition senators na sina Senators Makino, Risa Ontiveros, Kiko Pangilinan. Kumaga full force sila sa pagsuporta dito kay Senator Trillanes. At kasalukuyang nagaganap yung kanyang nagpapakita siya ng iba't ibang dokumento dito mismo kay Judge Elmo Alameda. At talagang mahigpit yung seguridad. Kasama rin niya, katabi rin niya si Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eliazar dito sa pagpapile ng kanyang piyansa. Sinecheck nila yung mga dokumento, no, kaugnay dito sa kanyang pagpo-post ng bail. At kasama rin niya yung kanyang abogado na kasalukuyan nga nila ngayong pinopost yung bail dito sa harap ni Judge Elmo Alameda. At pagkatapos nito ay pupunta siya doon sa cashier sa 10th floor upang formal lang ang bayaran itong kanyang piyansa. Pagkatapos ay babalik sila dito sa 14th floor upang maipost na nga itong bail formally. Pagkatapos noon ay pansamantala siyang makakalaya, Pia.
Rex, I suppose you will be given the chance to speak to him. Sa dami ba naman ng media dyan, ano? And I'm sure people will want to hear what he's been through.
Tama ka dyan, Pia, pero sa ngayon hindi pa siya nagpapa-interview, hindi pa siya nagbibigay ng kahit anong pahayag. Ang nangyayari ngayon ay kausap niya pa si Judge Elmo Alameda, kasama niyang kanyang abogado. Nag-uusap-usap sila nila Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eliazar. At talagang magulo talaga dito sa loob. At talagang mahigpit rin yung seguridad. Yung ibang cameraman natin ay hindi pinapayagang makapasok. Buti na lamang nakapuslit tayo upang makakuha man lang kahit mga litrato dito sa pagpapile nga ng bail ni Senator Antonio Trillanes na isang matinding kritiko nga ni Pangulong Duterte. Itong kanyang...
Rex, two things. Can you hear kung ano yung sinasabi nila ni Senator Trillanes at ni Judge Alameda? Or masyadong maingay lang talaga?
Una, masyado pang maingay dito. Pangalawa, kung nagsasalita man si Senator Trillanes ay mahina lamang at ang karamihang nag-uusap ay yung kanyang abogado at itong
Rex,
si Judge Elmo Alameda.
Yeah, okay. And the second thing, Rex, sabi mo, you've been able to take pictures? You have pictures now?
Yes, Pia, nakakakuha ko ngayon.
Pwede mo bang padala ngayon para mapakita natin? Maybe you'll have to get off the line first. Padala mo dito sa amin, ano, para maipakita natin.
O, tama ka dyan, Pia, at para makakuha na rin ako ng video pagkatapos natin mag-usap at maaari mo kong balikan para
We'll get back to you like 1 minute after we receive, or 30 seconds after we receive your pictures first, and then later your video para makita natin. All right, what is going on? Our Rex Remitio there, CNN Philippines correspondent Rex Remitio at the Makati Regional Trial Court. He is inside the office the sala or the office of Judge Elmo Alameda of Branch 150. Senator Trillanes going to post bail of 200,000 peso bail for his temporary liberty after the judge had ordered his arrest based on an alias warrant, and after the judge also issued a hold departure order against him. The senator decided that he would go with the police, the arresting officials from the Philippine National Police, the top cop of the Metro Manila, the NCRPO chief, Director Guillermo Eliazar, escorted him from the Senate to the Makati PNP, Makati Police Station, where these mugshots that you see on the left of your screens were taken. And now on the right of your screens, General Eliazar and Senator Trillanes and other opposition senators now at the Makati RTC. You're seeing live pictures just outside Branch 150 of Judge Elmo Alameda. We were speaking a while ago to Rex Remitio, who was inside the office of Judge Alameda. He said that nag-uusap si Judge Alameda at si Senator Trillanes at hindi niya masyadong marinig yung sinasabi dahil mahina lang daw ang boses ni Senator Trillanes. But Rex had said that he was able to take pictures of what is going on inside the RTC branch 150, and we're waiting for those pictures. I hope we can download it now, but if not, maybe we can show this right now on our phones here on our phone here in the studio.
Wala isa pa, nakikinig pa. Yan lang si Mike. Yes, sir. Muro. Dito sa dati, wala rin nangyari. Lalo na pito, di na kayo makapasok.
May mangligisyo.
Sama malis ka dyan at papangiling kita rito eh.
Naginawag tayo sa Channel 5. Nagkukay braso yun siya. Nakukong braso. Sige, daw. May nakos. Daw. Abangan mo baka mag-ambos interview. Sige, umay.
Right. For those of you just joining us now, these are pictures that Rex Remigio had sent. These are straight from the Makati Regional Trial Court, Branch 150. Senator Trillanes facing Judge Elmo Alameda inside the office of Branch 150. These are pictures that Rex Remigio had sent just a while ago. You can see General Eleazar here on the very right, seated here. We're looking for a picture of where Senator Trillanes is. But, well, these are pictures that Rex Remigio just sent. In the meantime, we're also trying to contact government officials, among them, of course, Presidential Spokesman Harry Roque, Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara, Presidential Legal Counsel Sal Panelo, to get their side on what is going on right now at the Makati RTC. Senator Trillanes about to post bail for his temporary liberty for a rebellion charge that the judge of that court, Elmo Alameda, had issued that alias warrant giving into a petition, or it was called a very urgent ex parte motion filed by government prosecutors several weeks back. But we do have a statement here from Sal Panelo, who is Presidential Legal Counsel. And this was released just a while ago. I'm sorry, I'm just about to I'm trying to pull it up right now so that I can read it to you. And we quote that statement from Sal Panelo, Presidential Legal Counsel, quote, "The order is anchored on solid legal ground." The order, of course, meaning the order of Judge Alameda. And we continue, Trillanes should face the music and dance, stop acting pathetically as if Frank Sinatra would croon in his song with the same title. He has to stop milking the issue and act pathetically as if he is a victim of injustice. The law of karma, as well as of the law, has finally caught up with his shenanigans. He has been using his position as senator in planting the seeds of hate and sedition against PRRD, or President Duterte, and the government. Judge Alameda is a no-nonsense judge who has a reputation for independence and probity. Now, that statement coming from Sal Panelo, Presidential Legal Counsel, that was sent in shortly after 3 in the afternoon. We're trying our best to get Secretary Menardo Guevara. We remember, of course, that it was Secretary Guevara who faced the media on September 4 that morning when word got around that the president wanted Trillanes' amnesty voided. That piece of news came out because an advertisement had come out in well, it wasn't an advertisement. The proclamation itself, Proclamation 572, was printed in a broadsheet on that morning, September 4. In the meantime, we're going to pause for a break. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines Breaking News. Representative, the woman you see on the right, with glasses posting his bail of 200,000 pesos for his temporary liberty, 200,000 pesos in cash. That is what is being posted right now. We don't have her name, but we're told that this is a representative of Senator Trillanes. So instead of the senator himself posting that bail, he most probably is waiting for that procedure to finish. Earlier, Rex Umiti was saying that this is taking place at the 10th floor. Judge Alameda's office is on the 14th floor. And, well, that's it. Bail has been posted. Whatever that paper is that representative of the center is holding, that I suppose is what the judge is waiting for. Proof that bail of 200,000 pesos has been posted for the temporary liberty of Senator Antonio Trillanes. In the meantime, still in your left, photographs taken about an hour earlier of the senator's mugshots at the Makati PNP, where he first was brought. That is the procedure, the police station first, and then proceeding to the Makati RTC. And on your right, photographs taken by Rex Remigio. On the right, Guillermo Eleazar, NCRPO Director. Up on the left is Attorney Robles, Trillanes' lawyer. The senator himself is on the lower left of the pictures. You won't see him right now, but there you can see now. So they were just seated around the table. If I'm not mistaken, that is Judge Elmo Alameda, who is seated to the right of General Eleazar. I'll get a correction if I made a mistake there. But those are pictures taken moments ago by Rex Remigio inside Branch 150 of the Makati Regional Trial Court. Now, earlier we were told that from Judge Alameda, the center was going down to post bail. But then, like we said and like we saw earlier, the representative of his was the one who did that for him, who posted the 200,000 peso bail in cash for his temporary liberty. Now, we are, as we speak, trying to reach presidential spokesman Harry Roque. Earlier, we did speak to him. CNN Philippines did speak to him, and he did say in so many words that the court has spoken and that they are going to wait for the court to take care of things. We have all right, we have Harry Roque on the phone right now, presidential spokesman, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Okay, so I guess you're seeing what's going on from the Makati PNP. Si Senator Trillanes dumiretso na sa Makati RTC. You can see photographs up here on our screens, and then his representative posting bail. Well, but so far, your comments, sir.
Well, yan po talagang proseso, no? And I'm happy that Senator Trillanes is complying with the process, no? Because it's bailable anyway, no? It does not mean that he has to spend time behind bars. All he has to do is to post bail. No? But he also has to wait for an order from the court, no, setting him or approving his posting of bail for provisional liberty.
Okay, Secretary Roque, can you tell us if President Duterte is aware of what is going on right now? That Trillanes, for example, was at the Makati PNP earlier, mugshots taken, as we can see up on the screen on your left, and on the right, he's at Judge Alameda's sala right now.
Well, he knows about the court's decision. He has always said he will abide with the regional trial court. He has, in fact, told the military not to take any steps to apprehend him until a decision by the RTC has been issued, and now that it's been issued, let the process proceed.
Were those his exact words? Did he say anything else? Wala siyang ibang comment?
Well, alam niyo po, dating prosecutor ang Pangulo, no? So alam na alam po niya ang proseso, no? So let the process proceed. The case against him will proceed, and he will have his day in court.
Where is the president right now, sir?
He's in Malacanang.
And yung event niya today?
Yes, he has a whole lot of events, mostly related to presentation of credentials of diplomats.
I see. So there won't be any opportunity for a speech?
I don't think so. It's business as usual.
Okay, all right. Anything else you can add, Secretary Roque? Because we were also trying to get in touch with Secretary Menardo Guevara. It would be interesting to hear from him because it was Secretary Guevara who spoke for the government on the morning of September 4 to talk about this Proclamation 572.
Well, our congratulations as well to Secretary Guevara and his team of prosecutors for this order from the Regional Trial Court.
All right. Anything else, Secretary Harry Roque?
Yun lang po for now.
All right. Harry Roque, spokesperson for the president, talking to us here in CNN Philippines Breaking News. Roque is saying that, let the case against Trillanes proceed, and that the president is aware of what is going on. He knew about the president knew about the issuance of that alias warrant, the warrant for Trillanes' arrest, and that whole departure order, that order made by Judge Elmo Alameda of the Makati Regional Trial Court. But let's speak to our Paolo Barcelon. He is on the line. He is at the Makati RTC also. Well, he was with that representative of Senator Trillanes who had posted bail just moments ago. Paolo?
Yes, Pia, good afternoon. Just a few moments ago, a representative for Senator Trillanes did post the senator's 200,000 peso bail in the 10th floor of the Makati City Hall, which also serves as the cashier. Right now, I am back on the 14th floor where branch 150 is located, and security remains tight here. The representatives had declined to speak to us and to other members of the media. She said that all questions would be deferred to their designated spokesperson. But right now, the situation here remains a bit tense. Security is tight on all fronts, and the members of the media, including ourselves included, are now waiting on what's going to happen, because now that the bail has been posted, we are now waiting for what's going to happen from inside the court, or whether or not the senator would be allowed to walk free from this proceeding. So right now, what is going on is that everything is our people, our security forces are trying to maintain order, and the media is now gearing up. There seems to be a commotion outside the branch 150 courtroom. We're seeing members of the media are gathering outside the courtroom right now. We can't get a clear view, Pia, as of the moment as to what's going on inside. But the other fellow members of the media are waiting. There's probably someone who's going to come out, but we can't confirm that yet. So I'll get back to you as soon as we have more details available.
Yeah, well, Paolo, hold on. No, as expected, of course, security is tight in cases, especially in cases like this. You have a VIP, a senator of the Republic, who's posting bail at a court in the city of Makati. So we do expect the kind of security. At the same time, Paolo, I wanted to ask you if, and that commotion, of course, because, they naturally, the natural reaction of media is to try to get in to wherever the action is, but that's not going to happen because nga hindi na nga pinayagan yung mga camera. But Paolo, I wanted to ask you, were you able to get a glimpse of that piece of paper, that document that representative of Senator Trillanes was holding just after she had posted that 200,000 peso bail?
Well, we tried asking Pia, that representative, as to the contents or the receipt. I was trying to ask that representative to show us that piece of paper that she was holding, but apparently she hid it away with the sight of our cameras and mobile phones near her. But other members of the media, myself included, are peppering her with questions, but she refused to show that the contents of that white piece of paper. But from what we can presume, it might be the receipt of the bail that Senator Trillanes had posted.
Receipt of the bail, of course, as media, we are curious as to what exactly is in that document. And I'm sure most probably it's going to be shown to reporters there. Our Rex media is inside the office of Judge Alameda. Just a while ago, we were showing photographs of that informal meeting, that informal talk that was going on between Senator Trillanes, his lawyer, Attorney Robles, NCRPO Chief Director Guillermo Eleazar, and Judge Alameda. They were seated around that table. But what we can see right now on the right those are live pictures on the right, just outside the office of, or at branch 150 of Makati RTC. On your left, what you're seeing is the representative of Senator Trillanes, just as Paolo Barcelon had described, posting that 200,000 peso cash bail for the senator's temporary liberty. Paolo Barcelon describing to us that this representative was very hesitant to to speak to the media and to show them the document that she had received in exchange for the bail that she posted on behalf of Senator Trillanes.
Oo. Ilaw. Luis. Nakapula ba kayo?
Right, for those of you just joining us, Senator Trillanes, more correctly, his representative, has just posted bail for him at the 10th floor of the Makati Regional Trial Court. Earlier today, just an hour or two ago, Judge Elmo Alameda of the RTC Branch 150 had issued an alias warrant and a whole departure order. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, that is Attorney Robles, Senator Trillanes' lawyer, who's emerging from Branch 150. Behind him, opposition senators led by Senator Bam Aquino, and we are expecting to see Senator Trillanes. Let's see if we can listen in to what Attorney Robles is saying.
What is your comment? Hindi binigyan ng
Dito na po.
Sir Eugene, you're going back. Meron naman, ito yung elevator na ginagamit ng mga judge, ng mga matataas na opisyal. Direksyon ng ground floor. At ito, nasa labas na kami pero nagkakatunakan pa rin. Ito, hindi si Senator Trillanes hindi makalabas eh. Ito, nasa loob pa rin siya. At ito na rin. Police. Bigay daan, pero walang umatras.
Hintay natin makalabas nito ang 150. Minute. Mabigas na dito. Senator Trillanes at the judge.
Again, for those of you just joining us, Senator Trillanes posting bail, 200,000 peso bail for his temporary and provisional liberty. Just an hour or two ago, 2 hours ago, Judge Elmo Alameda, Branch 150, the Makati Regional Trial Court, had issued an alias warrant, a warrant for the senator's arrest and a whole departure order. Instead of the senator waiting to be arrested at the Senate, he said that he would go with police officials, and he did go with police officials to the Makati PNP. He was escorted by NCRPO Chief Director Guillermo Eleazar and other police officials. He did go to the Makati PNP, and then he proceeded, as you can see, to the Branch 150 of the Makati RTC to appear before Judge Elmo Alameda. In the meantime, we have Senator Grace Poe on the line. Ma'am?
Hi. Hi, magandang hapon, Pia.
Ma'am, can you tell us your comments on what has happened so far?
Well, okay. I think, of course, all of us are sympathetic to our colleague. On the other hand, it's good that there's a chance for him to bail at this time, to post bail, and I think he did. Of course, there are some questions in my mind. I'm not really a lawyer, but you know, his amnesty was approved and granted by both houses of Congress, not to mention, of course, the former president. So if there's a question on that, considering it passed through both houses, and now with just one specific order, it can be questioned, then the others are also in jeopardy. Remember, there are hundreds, maybe, I don't know, but at least tens of amnesties that were issued. So it will call in question also all of those amnesties, and then also put the government at a situation where there will be less trust from people dealing with the government.
Ma'am, we're going to go back for a while to Makati RTC. If you can hold the line for a while. Senator Trillanes is appearing before reporters. We're going to try and listen into the commotion, or maybe he is speaking right now. Let's listen in. Senator Poe, ma'am, Senator Grace Poe.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. It is a commotion. We can't hear anything that Senator Trillanes is saying. But if you're, for those of you watching, Senator Trillanes just emerging from the sala of Judge Elmo Alameda of Branch 150. Now, that judge is the one who issued that alias warrant for his arrest. The senator did post bail, 200,000 pesos, provisional liberty, temporary liberty. So, Senator Poe, you're saying that you have several questions in your mind. For example, thousands of amnesties that have previously been issued now in jeopardy.
Yes, maybe not thousands, but at least tens of them from the former administration or even before that. When you receive a document, particularly a government contract or a government amnesty, then you should be able to have full confidence that since it has the backing of Congress, that it is a document that will be respected. Now, this is a first for something like that to happen. But remember, it's not just the military that was given an amnesty before. You also have private citizens, as well as some political leaders that have availed of that. So all of that can be thrown into question. Some of them who were given those amnesties are in government positions now. So if anybody asks the same or questions those amnesties, then they'll have to be subjected to the same treatment as Senator Trillanes is going through, I suppose. I just hope that, and I'm quite confident that Senator Trillanes at least can defend himself, because we've seen for a fact that he's been a sitting senator for how many years, and if his amnesty doesn't have any weight to it, then why was it even promulgated for that long?
Senator Poe, do you have, what do you think of the issuance of an alias warrant by Judge Alameda against Senator Trillanes?
You know, I'm again, not a legal person, so I'd rather really not comment about that until I read the full document behind it, or the reasoning behind the judge. But right now, I'm going by that very common knowledge that it's passed through both houses of Congress. He was granted that amnesty. It was even the former president said yes, that amnesty was given. So I'd like to see how the court will go through the discussion and argument, stating that it's invalidated based on a document that might be missing.
All right. Just a while ago, Senator Trillanes got into the elevator with his escorts. He's on his way down, and we're told that he is going to be heading back to the Senate. In the meantime, we have this just in, Judge Elmo Alameda issuing an order that says, and we're going to read the portion that talks about an order for the Makati PNP to, quote, hereby ordered to immediately release accused Senator Antonio F. Trillanes IV from detention unless otherwise held for other offenses. This is after Senator Trillanes had posted bail. In the first paragraph of this order dated, today, it says here that 200,000 pesos in cash was received by the Makati RTC. And they even also listed down the official receipt number. And we quote, the order says, we quote, finding the cash bond to be sufficient and in order, the same is hereby approved. In view thereof, the warrant of arrest issued against the accused dated September 25, 2018 is hereby recalled and set aside. Now further, this order says that the last paragraph of this order says the initial presentation of prosecution evidence is set on November 21, 2018, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is signed by Elmo Alameda, Judge, Makati RTC, Branch 150. This is the order. A while ago, our reporters were saying that after bail is posted, that there has to be an order from the judge for Senator Trillanes to be allowed to return, to go home or to return. In this case, we're told, Rex Meach is saying that the word is that the senator is returning to the Senate. Now, of course, what we're showing you now just a while now, our pictures taken about 30 minutes ago while the senator was on his way into the office of Judge Elmo Alameda at the Makati RTC to present himself there. And while he and his lawyer and several opposition senators and the PNP's NCRPO chief, the Director Guillermo Eleazar, were at the sala of Judge, or were in the office of Judge Alameda, who had issued that arrest warrant against the senator. A representative of Senator Trillanes had posted that 200,000 peso bail for the senator's temporary release, and because of that, the judge had issued an order that I just read a while ago that says that Trillanes should be released and the warrant for his arrest revoked because he had already presented himself to the court and he had posted that 200,000 peso bail in cash at the Makati Regional Trial Court. Word is that he is on his way back to the Senate. That is what our Rex Remigio told us. Rex, of course, still there at the Makati RTC. So since we talked about the Senate, let's go back there where our senior correspondent, Cecil Lardizabal, is standing by. Cecil, any other reactions from other senators? What is going on at the Senate?
Hi, Pia. Right now, everyone is awaiting the arrival where we were told that Senator Trillanes is coming back to the Senate. And right now, I understand that he's on his way back here. Senators are now having a session, but as a matter of fact, they are on a session break. Actually, they're just having a break. It's the usual session break that senators are usually having. But we haven't gotten any word from the senators except that we were able to talk to Senator Grace Poe. That I heard that you were also able to interview her, and is saying that it sets a bad precedent, this case of Senator Trillanes. But another question for the senator is that if he's going to stay here or is he going to stay home? But that he said is that something that he is talking about with his lawyers. And most probably, the staff of some people are, some media reporters, Senate media are asking for another interview with the senator. And most probably, we will be asking him what his next steps will be. That will be asking him as soon as he steps in again at the Senate. And we don't know at this point if it's going to proceed directly to the plenary hall for the session, or he'll go back directly to his office at the 5th floor. So that is something that we'll have to see what the senator will do as soon as he arrives here at the Senate. So everything is calm at this point, Pia. We don't expect any chaos at this point because, of course, we know that it just came from the Makati RTC, and we'll be asking more about the case and what his next legal remedies will be. And of course, it's with his lawyers. I understand the center is with Attorney Ray Robles, and most probably we'll be asking him what their next legal steps will be, Pia.
All right, Cecil Lardizabal, we're going to get back to you in just a bit, especially when the senator gets back to the Senate. In the meantime, we're going over to Malacanang. Our senior correspondent, Ina Andalong, is there. Ina, I was speaking to presidential spokesman Harry Roque just a while ago. I was asking if the president is already aware of this and what's going on at the Makati RTC. Harry Roque was saying that the president knows what's going on. I also asked, is there any chance that he's going to be speaking today? Pero apparently, parang presentation of credentials lang, no, ng mga bagong ambassador. But what's going to happen at Malacanang today? Any chance we'll hear from the president? And what is the mood like there right now? What are reactions there like right now?
Well, Pia, we are still on standby for any possible statement that may come from the presidential spokesman, or as you mentioned, perhaps even President Duterte himself. As you mentioned, or as Secretary Roque said earlier, President Duterte was attending to some activities inside Malacanang today while Senator Trillanes was on its way to the Makati RTC to post bail. While that was happening, as you mentioned, the president was receiving the credentials of the new ambassadors designate of Norway and the Republic of Belarus to the Philippines. Now, these events were not open to reporters covering the palace, but we did monitor them since they were aired live on the Presidential Communications Operations Office Facebook page. But the president did not deliver any remarks there, so still no opportunity for him to address or to talk about this latest development on Senator Trillanes. Nonetheless, again, we are still on standby for any statement that they may issue on the senator, who is considered to be among the most vocal critics of the Duterte administration. But again, just to stress, we have not been advised if there is going to be a press conference with the president later. But of course, just in case, we are here to watch out for any, again, statement that they may issue. Pia?
Ina Dolong there, our senior correspondent reporting from Malacanang. Right now what's happening is that Senator Antonio Trillanes is on his way back to the Senate. That is the information we have, and that is what is being told to us right now. In the meantime, what happened was that Trillanes and his representative posted that 200,000 peso bail in cash at the Makati Regional Trial Court, while the senator and his lawyer, Attorney Ray Robles, and the NCRPO chief, Director Guillermo Eleazar, were speaking to Judge Elmo Alameda. Those are the pictures in that brief impromptu meeting earlier with the judge at Branch 150. Alameda, of course, is the judge who issued that alias warrant and the whole departure order. It was in response to what is called a very urgent ex parte motion that was filed a few weeks back by government prosecutors as they tried to get an arrest warrant. We will all remember that President Duterte had said that there will be no arrest if there is no warrant, and this happened also just as the Supreme Court was deliberating on a petition that was filed by Senator Antonio Trillanes as he tried to stop his arrest and tried to stop, the Proclamation 572 that was issued and signed by the President. 572, of course, 572, of course, voided the amnesty of Trillanes that was given by former President Noynoy Aquino. In the meantime, please stay tuned to CNN Philippines for any further breaking news on the the posting of bail and the subsequent release of and by Senator Antonio Trillanes at the Makati Regional Trial Court. I'm Pia Ontiveros.
In-oversee nila yung proper and fair treatment, and at the same time yung orderly processing of everything. And of course, katabi ko all throughout si Director Eliasa.
Sir, kailan nyo na-expect mag-rule ang Branch 148?
I don't know. We should expect that to happen anytime.
Sir, so yun ang bail naman talaga, sir. So, handa na kayo na, kasi prelude, nakikita nyo na bang prelude yung nangyari ngayon ng 150?
Well, sa ganitong bakbakan, you have to expect for everything, you know? You have to expect the worst. Ang kalaban mo, demonyo, di ganun. Lahat ng kasamaan, expectin mo. So, alam naman natin ang panlaban sa demonyo ay panalangin. At maraming mga kababayan tayong nananalangin on my behalf. So, yun ang nagbibigay sa atin ng lakas.
So, nung nagkausap kayo ni VP Robredo kanina, ano yung naging nasabi niya sa inyo?
She wished me good luck at hopefully daw ma-update sila kung ano man yung mga nangyayari.
Senator, do you see any fresh or at least the court's ruling was influenced by the President Duterte's public pronouncement? It would appear that he has been hell-bent on putting you behind bars.
Ano yan, ano? That's very obvious. Ito talagang ginagamit niya na yung impluensya ng kanyang opisina para baluktutin yung kailangang baluktutin para magawa at makamit niya yung kagustuhan niya. Sabi nga ng mga kababayan natin, ang problema ngayon yung ekonomiya, yung hirap ng buhay, pero na-obsess siya sa akin eh. Kailangan niya ako iligpit, ganon. Pero sabi ko nga, ako naniniwala, yung confidence ko is coming from the fact na sa kasaysayan ng mundo, hindi po na naig ang kasamaan. Never. Kaya, they may have small victories, but in the end, mark me, matatalo yung kasamaan. Yan yun. Kahit saan, ganyan ang nangyari.
Sir, you mentioned about harassment.
You're watching CNN Philippines breaking news coverage. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Democracy lost today. That is what Senator Antonio Trillanes IV said after a Makati Regional Trial Court issued an arrest warrant and a whole departure order against him over a rebellion case. Now, this stems from President Rodrigo Duterte's proclamation voiding an amnesty given to Trillanes in 2011 for trying to topple the Arroyo administration over a decade ago. Our Rex Remito trailed the senator who posted bail in Makati RTC Branch 150. Rex, you witnessed how the story unfolded. Tell us more about what happened today.
Well, Trillanes insists the fight goes on. He says he's not afraid and he will fight for democracy until the end. This after he posted bail on his rebellion case worth 200,000 pesos. This after the Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150 issued an arrest warrant against him. The same court also issued a whole departure order against him, barring him from leaving the country. And but right after he was served the arrest warrant, he himself went here at the Makati Branch 150. Opposition Senators Kiko Pangilinan, Bam Aquino, and Risa Ontiveros accompanied him all the way here. The security was really tight. Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eliazar himself joined him here. He posted a bail of 200,000 pesos on his rebellion case for his temporary liberty. Trillanes, however, has yet to confirm whether he will stay at the Senate or he will go home. Trillanes looks defiant. His face looks serious. But he was also not that talkative as he has been when we were asking him questions. In a nutshell, the court justified the issuance of arrest warrant and a whole departure order against Senator Trillanes. Clerk of Court Josfa Valencia says Trillanes failed to show any proof he filed an amnesty application, whether the original or duplicate copy. This includes the proof that he personally accomplished and filed with the Defense Department his amnesty application form. The Makati RTC Branch 150 also maintains the principle of double jeopardy does not apply in the present case. This after his rebellion case was dismissed in September 7, 2011 upon his motion. There was also no any conviction held by the court or plea entered by Trillanes. So just to backtrack, when Judge Elmo Alameda released the order, he subsequently issued the arrest warrant and the whole departure order. This was received by the arresting officer led by Makati Police Chief Senior Superintendent Rogelio Simon and Sheriff Joseph Carrion. Then they served the arrest warrant to Trillanes. They brought him here from the Senate to the Makati City Police Station where he underwent booking procedures before he went here to post his bail. Pia.
Rex, so hearing, that's what's next for the Makati RTC?
Well, according to the Makati RTC Branch 150, the presentation of evidence by the prosecution will be on November 21st. Meanwhile, the arrest warrant and the whole departure order on Trillanes was already recalled by the same court. Pia.
Rex Remito there reporting live from the Makati Regional Trial Court. In the meantime, Malacanang tells CNN Philippines President Duterte is aware of the arrest warrant issued against Trillanes. Speaking to CNN Philippines, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the case will proceed.
Yan po talagang proseso, no? And I'm happy that Senator Trillanes is complying with the process, no? Because it's bailable anyway, no? It does not mean that he has to spend time behind bars. All he has to do is to post bail, no? But he also has to wait for an order from the court, no, setting him or approving his posting of bail for provisional liberty.
Okay. Secretary Roque, can you tell us if President Duterte is aware of what is going on right now? That Trillanes, for example, was at the Makati PNP earlier, mugshots taken, as we can see up on the screen on your left and on the right. He's at Judge Alameda's sala right now.
Well, he knows about the court's decision. He has always said he will abide with the regional trial court. He has in fact told the military not to take any steps to apprehend him until a decision by the RTC has been issued, and now that it's been issued, let the process proceed.
Are those were those his exact words? Did he say anything else Wala siyang ibang comment?
Well, alam niyo po, dating prosecutor ang Pangulo, no? So alam na alam po niya ang proseso, no? So let the process proceed. The case against him will proceed and he will have his day in court.
Where is the president right now, sir?
He's in Malacanang.
And yung event niya today?
Yes, he has a whole lot of events, mostly related to presentation of credentials of diplomats.
I see. So there won't be any opportunity for a speech?
I don't think so. It's business as usual.
Okay, all right. Anything else you can add, Secretary Roque? Because we were also trying to get in touch with Secretary Menardo Guevara. It would be interesting to hear from him because it was Secretary Guevara who spoke for the government on the morning of September 4 to talk about this Proclamation 572.
Well, our congratulations as well to Secretary Guevara and his team of prosecutors for this order from the Regional Trial Court.
All right. Anything else, Secretary Harry Roque?
Yun lang po for now.
Senator Antonio Trillanes arrived back at the Senate and faced the media after posting bail in Makati. He condemns what he calls is the administration's harassment against him. Our senior correspondent Cecil Rizabal is there. Cecil, what did the embattled senator say?
The senator will remain here at the Senate until such time that he and his lawyers have assessed everything politically and, of course, legally. They did not divulge what exactly their next legal remedies will be, but, of course, that is something that the senator and his lawyers are now discussing. The senator said that the decision of the Makati RTC 150 is something that he didn't hope for, but he said that at the back of his mind, he would always expect for the worst. He said that he is always ready for any worst-case scenario. Right now, he's awaiting the result of the case filed before the Makati RTC Branch 148, and that one is non-bailable. He says he's ready for his fate, whatever that is, whether it's imprisonment or not. He's asking what could be the worst case scenario that could happen to him, knowing that, I will quote him, ang kalaban ko ay demonyo at ang tanging panlaban ay panalangin para sa mga demonyo, unquote. He said that the decision of the RTC is a failure in democracy, and he said he's expecting other forms of harassment in the next days to come. But of course, he would hope for a miracle if there will be. This afternoon, he also was able to meet the Vice President Leno Robredo, who was here at the Senate to attend the Senate hearing on the budget of the Office of the Vice President. And he said that the Vice President wished him good luck in his case, and the senator said that it's very obvious that what happened this morning is that the president is using his influence over the courts. And lastly, the senator said that he's thanking all his supporters and, of course, the support of all the opposition senators who went with him to the Makati RTC, to the police headquarters, Senator Bam Aquino, Kiko Pangilinan, Rizo Ontiveros, and, of course, Frank Drilon. And, of course, he's grateful for the peaceful turnover from the Senate Sergeant-at-Arms to the PNP. Pia.
Cecil Rizabal there reporting live from the Senate. Let's go back to what Senator Trillanes said in that media briefing this afternoon. Let's watch this.
Nais kong pasalamatan yung mga nag-offer ng kanilang suporta at panalangin na walang mangyari sa akin. So far, ay nasagot na po yung inyong panalangin. I'm still standing here. And at the same time, I'm very grateful for the support extended by the minority senators. Sinamahan nila ako, Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Pangilinan, and Senator Risa Ontiveros. And si Sen Frank, kung hindi lang sensitive yung kanyang kalagayan, ay nakasama rin siya, no? And also the Senate leadership, si Senate President Soto, ay pinanindigan yung aming agreement at yung proper turnover, sinigurado rin niya na hindi naman tayo malalagay sa kapahamakan. Ganon din sa Philippine National Police under Director Eliasar. They were very professional. They treated me well. And maganda para sa imahe ng ating PNP. Ngayon, having said that, kagaya nga sabi ko kanina, ito pong nangyari is a debacle or a defeat of democracy. Maliwanag po yung ating rule of law na merong mga prosesong hindi na dapat nababali. Kagaya ng pagbigay ng amnestiya, pag-dismiss ng mga kaso, pero sa gigil ni Duterte, sa akin ay walang batas-batas sa kanya. Isasagasa niya yung kanyang kagustuhan. At ang gusto niya ay yun ang matutupad. So, maliwanag yan sa ating mga kababayan. At sabi ko nga, ang kapalaran ng ating demokrasya ay ultimately nasa kamay po ng ating mga kababayan.
So sir, are you now free to go home?
Definitely not. Nakita nyo naman, pag medyo magkumpiyansa ka ng konti, ay bibira at bibira sila. We expect other forms of harassment in the days to come. So unless and until this issue has been formally settled, then yun na yun. But for now, talaga nakakadismaya na itong ating hudikatura ay tumiklop sa pressure nitong diktador na si Mr. Duterte.
Ibig sabihin, you're not expecting fair treatment po sa court?
Wala na eh. As it is, milagro ang inaantay natin from branch 148 where kumaga slightly more hopeful but we have to expect for the worst.
So sir, non-bailable ba yun sa 148?
Yes, non-bailable yun.
And ano na yun for resolution?
Sir? Ano paghahanda?
Sa akin naman kasi, alam mo kung anong dumarating sa aking buhay, iba't ibang yugto. Niyayakap ko yan kung ano ang ibigay sa akin ng buhay, ng tadhana. So, ano man yan, yayakapin ko yan at sasalubungin ko.
So would you call on the Supreme Court to rule on your petition to nullify the proclamation? Kasi yun ang basis po ng revival ng case sa RTCs.
May proseso ng dumadaan, ay gumagalaw. So, we continue to hope. But medyo, kumbaga nawawala na. Malapit nang maglaho ng tuluyan. At pag naglaho yan, sabi ko nga, this is not about my case. Kung kaya nilang gawin ito sa akin, isang halal na opisyal ng gobyerno, walang kaso ikukulong mo ng ganun-ganun na lang, kayang gawin sa lahat. In fact, ginagawa na nga nila, yung mga kababayan natin na pinapatay arbitrarily, summarily, sa mga EJK victims. So yan, ginagawa na yan. So ito na ang estado ng ating bansa. Well, ang ine-expect sana natin ay gagawin nung hudikatura yung tama, yung hustisya, di ba? Kahit gaano mo paikutin kasi ito, mali eh. Kahit mga estudyante ng law would tell you na mali itong ginawa at ginagawa. But sabi ko nga, ganito na yung kalakaran eh. Kahit Diyos nga, pwede mo na murahin ngayon eh. Yung mga hindi ginagawa dati ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino, ginagawa na ngayon dahil dinidemonyo ni Duterte yung buong bansa eh. 'Di ba? Ginigiba niya yung mga institusyon, inaalagaan niya yung mga kaibigan niyang drug lord, mga kapartner niyang drug lord, mga kapartner niyang smuggler. So, ganito.
Sir, magpi-privilege speech na daw sa session?
Hindi pa. Not this afternoon anyway. Pag-uusapan namin ulit ng Aking mga abogado.
Ano yung kanila overall in your travel? Wala kayong nakikita na ba? Sorry. Paki-explain din bakit dito kayo sa police vehicle sumakay?
Alam niyo, sinabi ko nga na ay once magbigay sila ng valid warrant, I will submit to the process. So, kailangan sumakay sa isang police vehicle, di ganun po ang ginawa natin.
Pero follow-up lang. Wala kayong nakitang threat along the way from here pabalik dito na nandyan pa yung military na sinasabi nyo nakasubaybay at parang ready anytime to arrest you?
Wala naman. I never felt threatened at any point, and full credit goes to the Philippine National Police. They made sure na walang untoward incident na mangyari. Itong si Senior Superintendent Simon ng Makati Police ay sinigurado na mabilis at maayos yung proseso. So, doon din si SPD Chief Cruz. So, in-oversee nila yung proper and fair treatment, and at the same time yung orderly processing of everything. And of course, katabi ko all throughout si Director Eliasa.
Sir, kailan nyo na-expect mag-rule ang Branch 148?
I don't know. We should expect that to happen anytime.
So, yun ang available talaga, sir. So, handa na kayo doon na, kasi prelude, na nakikita nyo na bang prelude yung nangyari ngayon ng 150?
Well, sa ganitong bakbakan, you have to expect for everything, you know? You have to expect the worst. Ang kalaban mo, demonyo, hindi ganun. Lahat ng kasamaan, expectin mo. So, alam naman natin ng panlaban sa demonyo ay panalangin. At maraming mga kababayan tayong nananalangin on my behalf. So, yun ang nagbibigay sa atin ng lakas.
Sir, nung nagkausap kayo ni VP Robredo kanina, ano yung naging nasabi niya sa inyo?
She wished me good luck at hopefully daw ma-update sila kung ano man yung mga nangyayari.
Senator, do you see any pressure or at least the court's ruling was influenced by the President Duterte's public pronouncement? It would appear that he has been hell-bent on putting him behind bars.
Ano yan, ano? That's very obvious. Ito talagang ginagamit niya na yung impluensya nung kanyang opisina para baluktutin yung kailangang baluktutin para magawa at makamit niya yung kagustuhan niya. Sabi nga ng mga kababayan natin, ang problema ngayon yung ekonomiya, yung hirap ng buhay, pero na-obsess siya sa akin eh. Kailangan niya ako iligpit, ganon. Pero sabi ko nga, ako naniniwala, yung confidence ko is coming from the fact na sa kasaysayan ng mundo, hindi po na naig ang kasamaan. Never. Kaya, they may have small victories, but in the end, mark me, matatalo yung kasamaan. Yan yun. Kahit saan, ganyan ang nangyari.
So you mentioned about harassment in the country. Is like what we expected. That's more
Well, itong these are legal harassments, so to speak. Legal as in court cases. So ganun lang ito ganun ito, no? And ang objective nito is itorment ako. Then the next one, malay mo, yun na yun. They will be able to succeed in putting me away. But sabi ko nga, until that happens, meron akong boses at gagamitin ko yan. Di ba? So, siguraduhin lang niyang sa dakong huli ay mananalo siya rito. Ako, hindi ko nakikitang gano'n na mangyari.
Sir, may naulinigan kami sinabi niyo sa court kanina na sana nanonood si Presidente dahil
Sabi ko nga, sana sinusubaybayan niya yung proseso, no? Dahil gagawin niya yun. Na yung prosesong gano'n, na ibubuk siya, arestuin siya, yun ang haharapin mo, Mr. Duterte. Ako, mga 12 times na ako nagganyan. Nag-mugshot. Hindi man tayo natutuwa every time, ano? But, kahit pa paano, ay ginagawa natin yan, no? Pero siya, nako, isipin mo yan, Mr. Duterte, sa panaginip mo. Di ba?
Sir, sa lahat ng ito, sir, na pinagdaanan mo, direkta ipupul mo sa kanya sa kamera ka humarap. Mensahe mo kay Pangulong Duterte.
Well, ganito, no? Kay Mr. Duterte, baluktutin mo na ang kailangan mong baluktutin, isagasa mo na ang lahat ng isagasa. Pero yung kasamaan na pinagahari mo dito sa ating bayan ay hindi yan mananaig. Kung maililigpit mo man ako, meron at meron papalit sa akin. At sa dakong huli, ikaw rin ay matatalo. At haharapin mo yung mga kasalanan na ginawa mo.
So sir, may nakikita pa kayong possible legal remedies o wala na?
Marami naman legal remedies, kaso binabaluktot nga eh. Di ba? So, ano yan? Malalaman natin yan.
So with the law, what's your next steps? Or are you going to just wait?
Well, for now, we will be assessing the situation, both legally and politically. Then, we will make the proper decisions.
Pero Senator, with the loss in with the lost democracy, do you still trust the judicial system in its entirety, or do you feel that all your efforts would be futile?
Well, ganito yan. Sa akin, sabi ko nga, ako ay isang instrumento lang. Naging simbolo lang ako ng Estado, ng ating rule of law, ng hudikatura, ng ating demokrasya. So, maliwanag itong issue na ito. Pag natalo ako rito, so tapos na. Wala na. Darating ang panahon, magigising kayo, wala na kayong kalayaan. Dahil hawak na ni Duterte yung buhay ninyo. So, ang sa akin, there is always hope. There is always hope. I've been through worse. And may mga milagro nangyayari sa buhay. Kaya nga, yung panalangin po, ang pinakang epektibo na weapon laban sa mga demonyo. Bahala na siguro yung taong bayan kung maniniwala sila sa ganyang mga komentaryo.
Sir, sabi niya sa Secretary Roque, karma daw yung nangyayari sa inyo.
Well, ganoon talaga ang buhay, di ba?
Paano yung Red October daw?
Sige, sa akin, they can say what they want to say. Alam nyo, babahanan naman yung ating media and social media ng mga propaganda, fake news para pagtakpan nila yung mga kalokohan nila. But sana namulat yung mga kababayan natin dito. Okay? Ipaglaban natin itong ating demokrasya.
Attend ka na session, sir?
We'll see kung kailangan. Okay? Thank you.
Sir, yan ang
yes.
mga sagot.
Tuloy.
Yan ang mga sagot sa media rin sa
Yeah, and yung mga legal moves namin after.
Pero I mean yung possibility of you leaving the Senate anytime.
Yeah, kasama yun. Okay. Thank you.
Coming up, more reactions and government's efforts to arrest Senator Trillanes from both allies and critics. We're speaking with the Justice Department in a bit. This is breaking news on CNN Philippines. Welcome back to CNN Philippines Breaking News coverage. I'm Pia Ontiveros. We're talking about Senator Antonio Trillanes' arrest today and his having posted bail at the Makati Regional Trial Court. We're going to speak now to Acting Prosecutor General Richard Fodlion. Good evening, sir. It was you and a team of prosecutors from the DOJ, the Justice Department, that filed that very urgent ex parte motion several weeks back, no, at the Makati RTC, those two branches, 148 and 150. And now you got what you want, right? What you wanted.
That's right. Yes, that's right, Pia. As far as RTC branch 150 is concerned.
All right. Earlier, can you explain to us how this was possible? Because everybody thought or believed that since the cases against Senator Trillanes had been dismissed, that there would be no possibility of reviving that case. Can you explain to us the legal issues here?
Okay, let me put it this way. The Department of Justice acted on the basis of Proclamation 572, which directed us to work on the cases that were filed previously as against Senator Trillanes. Now, as far as the case in RTC Branch 150, before the grant of amnesty, the status was that he was out on bail, having been granted bail by the court, and then the order dismissing the case by reason of his application for amnesty was issued after. Okay, now, as a consequence of that, he was out. There was no more case as against him. Now, by virtue of our Proclamation 572, which declared his amnesty void ab initio, the proclamation itself stated that the reason for declaring it void ab initio is the failure of Senator Trillanes to comply with the minimum requirements of the Proclamation 75, the one that granted him amnesty. And if you look at Proclamation 75, the form itself that was provided for by the Amnesty Commission created by then Secretary Yasmin, it stated several requirements, among them the filing of the application, the admission of guilt of the offenses charged, and that would be the offense of coup d'etat and rebellion, and then a recantation of the statements that were issued. In addition to that, there should have been a narrative or a statement of facts supporting these recantations or admissions. During the hearing, it appeared that one, they could not produce any copy of the supposed application that Senator Trillanes is claiming to have filed. And two, there is no showing that he did in fact comply with the requirements stated in the form itself approved by the Amnesty Commission. And I think on the basis of that, the court agreed with the arguments of the prosecution, saying that if the order was premised on an act or an inaction on the part of the accused, meaning to say the amnesty which he applied for did not conform to all the requirements, or his application did not conform to all the requirements, then it naturally follows that the order dismissing it is likewise defective.
And that's why,
yes.
And that's why, Prosecutor Fadulyon, what you're saying is that it is void ab initio, void from the very beginning, and bumabalik siya sa status niya before the amnesty was given. That is your argument,
that is correct.
No?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct po.
Oh. Now, the issue about having applied for an amnesty, and I'm sure you've seen this, you're probably on social media, so you know what people are saying, and many arguments about this, no? Na ang daming nagsasabi na, paano na ito? Halimbawa, meron kaming i-apply sa gobyerno. Natural, minsan, hindi naman tinatago yung kopya ng application form. So, how does that work?
Well, ganito po, no? Yung iba hong nag-apply, I think wala naman silang dapat ipangamba. Dahil sa ang pinag-uusapan ho natin dito at ang aksyon po ng department ay lamang po doon sa Proclamation 572. At nakatuon po ito doon kay Senator Trillanes. Now, what is difficult to believe, Pia, is that, you know, Senator Trillanes was under detention for a long period of time, several years. And here you are now, you have a document which is actually the document which will facilitate your release, not the application for amnesty, and it appears to have been missing. Ang nakapagtataka ito, parang mahirap naman paniwalaan na ang isang dokumento na napakahalaga ay hindi man lang pinag-ingatan.
Hindi pinag-ingatan, Nino?
Hindi pinag-ingatan ni Senator Trillanes.
So dapat meron siyang kopya ng kanyang sariling application ng amnesty.
Yes, ma'am. Yan po ang hinahanap ng
pero dapat yung gobyerno din. Pero dapat yung gobyerno din, yung Defense Department, yung Armed Forces in this case, dapat sila rin ang may kopya, hindi ba?
Well, if in fact there was an application that was filed, that is the contention also. Ang sinasabi namin, kung meron talagang application na final si Senator Trillanes, then dapat on record ito. No, dapat nasa record po ito. Lumalabas po sa records na hindi po makita at wala pong papeles na nandoon.
When you say records, Prosecutor Fadulion, you're referring to that certification issued by a colonel in J1 of the AFP saying na wala silang makitang records. Right? So why is Senator Trillanes saying na ito yung mga records ko, ito yung amnesty, ito yung sulat ni yung letter halimbawa ni former Defense Secretary Voltaire Gasmin, etc.
Yes, he's talking about the certificate of amnesty issued to him by Secretary Gasmin. He's talking about the ad hoc committee memorandum that was supposedly filed in court. But here, we're talking about the application form itself, Ma'am Pia, na sinasabi na patunay na number one, na siya talaga ng application at nag-comply po siya sa lahat ng requirements na nakatuon at nakasaad doon sa application form na yun.
This can be a very interesting but a very long discussion, Prosecutor Fadulion. So I guess in very short and simple language, what happened was nakahanap kayo ng butas kay Senator Trillanes. Itong issue ng the failure na pag-ingatan, itong application form, etc. So we're here at this point, Prosecutor Fadulion. The other part of the question has to deal with how was it possible that if a case is dismissed, pwede siyang ma-revive? And then sabi mo, kasi nga yung basis natin, Proclamation 572, which voids that amnesty. And if the amnesty is voided, and therefore the result of that voiding of the amnesty, which is the dismissal of the case, kumbaga, never happened.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. Because it's Prosecutor, you're a lawyer, no? So you, of course, you would know better. Because when a case is dismissed, and if this is has nothing to do with amnesty, no, given to anyone, when a case is dismissed, it is as good as an acquittal. Right? In other words, dismissed, hindi mo na pwedeng ibalik yung kaso, bumalik ka doon sa kaso ng taong yan dahil nga dismissed. Di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Para kang na-acquit.
Yes, let me explain. No? Yung sinasabi namin, ang sinasabi ng Proclamation 572, void yung kanyang amnesty application. Remember that his case was dismissed by reason of his supposed filing of an application for amnesty under Proclamation 75.
Yes.
So, ang korte ay naniwala na siya po ay nag-file ng kanyang application. Wala pong kasalanan ng korte nito because they had no way of validating whether all the requirements were actually complied with. Now, since hindi alam ng korte kung talagang siya ay nag-file o hindi, dahil nag-file lamang siya ng motion sa korte na sinasabi nag-apply ako ng amnesty, ginrant ng korte at dinismiss yung kaso. Ito na ngayon, after ini-re-examine ito, tinignan, na pinag-aralan, siya ba ay nag-comply? At lumalabas na hindi siya nag-comply. Ang tanong ngayon, that judgment, no, since ang basis niya is void from the very start, the order granting the dismissal likewise is affected at least to the extent of, insofar as it applies to Senator Trillanes. Now, sasabihin niya final and executory, matagal na ito, ilang taon na ang nakalipas. There is such a thing as if a judgment is void, no right emanates from it. A government cannot be stopped from questioning or raising the issue, no, to try and rectify the error that was committed. Para mga sinasabi is, dahil ba nagkaroon ng pagkakamali si Senator Trillanes na hindi siya nag-file at ang korte ay napapaniwala niya, ang gobyerno ay wala nang habol para iwasto itong pagkakamali na ito. So talagay namin po hindi.
Prosecutor Fadulion, itong amnesty na binigay sa iba pang mga tao, no, kabilang na mga military rebels, are those in jeopardy also?
Well, I don't want to look into that just yet. Right now, our focus is just on 572. And like I said, the subject is as far as the application of Senator Trillanes is concerned.
Okay. So kanina, di ba, binanggit na nga natin, bumabalik siya sa status niya before the amnesty. On November 2021, no, yung hearing na sinet ni Judge Alameda. So, parang babalik tayo dun sa point na prosecution na ang magpe-present ng evidence. Correct?
Yes,
what kind of evidence, therefore, are you going to be presenting? Evidence about his participation in the
Manila Peninsula Siege, ma'am.
Sorry?
The evidence insofar as his involvement and participation in the Manila Peninsula Siege.
Manila Peninsula Siege. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe to us what kind of evidence that is? You're going to have to unearth that evidence because it's been what, 8 years 8 years, no, since...
Well, sa ngayon po, hindi ko po may disclose kung ano po specifically ang ebidensya na to, no? Kasi right now, we're also preparing for that eventuality that, when the court already directs the prosecution to present evidence, that we will, that's why we're looking into our records now, para malaman po kung saan ho tumigil, at nang siya ganun, we'll take off from there and start presenting evidence.
Okay. Kanina sinabi na nga ni Senator Trillanes, democracy lost, and he had, very choice words for the president. Again and again, he says this is harassment harassment of him. How do you react to this as a lawyer, as a prosecutor?
Well, ang sa amin ho, no, as far as we, the Department of Justice, are concerned, there was a portion of Republic Act, of Proclamation 572, which directed the prosecutors precisely to work on the revival of these cases. Proclamation 572 has not been declared unconstitutional, so it's a valid proclamation. Sinusunod po namin yun. Ngayon, ayaw ho namin ihalo ito sa politika kung ano man ho yung pananaw ni Senator Trillanes nito'y harassment o meron ng kaaway. Ayaw na ho namin pumunta doon sa punto na yun kasi ang amin lamang po is nililimitahan namin doon sa aspeto na involved yung korte. Kaya sa korte ho kami nagpunta.
Okay. Last two questions. The second to the last question is that nabanggit mo this has not been declared unconstitutional. The senator went to the Supreme Court asking for this to be stopped. The Supreme Court saying in so many words na no, we can't do that. And as a matter of fact, they said, wait, let me get that particular quote. There is no extreme and urgent necessity for the court to issue an injunctive relief. Considering that the respondents have acknowledged Senator Trillanes' right to due process. But now that, now he's been arrested, posted bail, released, provisional liberty, etc., the case goes on, can he still file can he still go to the Supreme Court to stop this, revival of an old case?
I really don't know what course of action Senator Trillanes or his legal team will take, no? But certainly, we have also to look into the pending petition which is before the Supreme Court. I do not know if he will raise the matter there or decide to file a separate action. It's something that I think best will be answered by the team of Senator Trillanes.
Okay. And my last question, Prosecutor Fadulion, is before you went to Judge Elmo Alameda of Branch 150, you went to, was it 148, no? Kay Judge Andres Soriano.
Yes, ma'am.
At humingi din kayo, you asked for the same thing, an alias warrant and HDO, but you didn't get it from Soriano, you got it from Alameda. Bakit kaya?
Well, right now ho, ma'am, hindi pa naman ho tapos yung proseso doon sa 148, no? It takes a longer time kasi mas parang napabilis itong kay Judge Elmo Alameda for the reason that he set it for hearing, he heard oral arguments, and right then, he asked us to mark our evidence already. And on the basis of that, rule on the evidence that we submitted. As far as RTC Branch 148, there are still exchanges of pleadings that are going on. And we hope to see the case be resolved also, at least our motion will be resolved also not later than next week po.
And there is that possibility that 148 will also issue an arrest warrant against the senator?
Well, I do not want to speculate on the action of RTC 148, ma'am.
Yeah.
Pero ang tawag dito, if we're talking about possibilities always there.
Okay. Final words, Prosecutor Fadulion?
Ang sa amin, the reason why, like I said, ulitin ko, kaya kami nagpunta sa husgado because sa tingin po namin, yun po ang tamang pamamaraan. Idaan po ito sa putong legal. No? And that any arguments for or against it should be raised before the courts. No? As far as the politics behind it is concerned, we're not privy to that, and we're not even taking that into consideration in the actions that we take.
All right. Acting Prosecutor General Richard Fadulion, thank you very much, sir, for joining us this evening. We're still getting more reactions to a court order seeking Trillanes' arrest. When we return, we also hear from netizens. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CNN Philippines Breaking News. The big story for the day, Senator Antonio Trillanes ordered arrested by the Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150. Judge Elmo Alameda issuing an arrest warrant, an alias warrant, and a whole departure order against him. Now, instead of being arrested by police at the Senate, as the senator, in the presence of the Sergeant at Arms of the Senate, went with the police officials, among them NCRPO Chief Director Guillermo Eleazar, to the Makati PNP. That's where he had his mugshots taken, booking procedures. From there, he proceeded to the Makati Regional Trial Court to meet with Judge Alameda, and that is where his representative posted the 200,000 peso cash bail that the court had ordered him to do so. Now, after that, the court ordered that he be released, and hearing set in late November. In the meantime, Paulo Barcelon reports live from Makati. Paulo, take us through what happened there.
Well, Pia, good evening. Tensions ran high all afternoon as Senator Antonio Trillanes went to the Makati City Police Station to submit himself to booking procedures and eventually proceeded to the Makati RTC to post his 200,000 peso bail bond. The Senate Sergeant at Arms Jose Balahaja told reporters earlier that the arrest went through proper procedures. In fact, earlier we saw Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eleazar coordinate with the Office of the Senate or the Senate Sergeant at Arms to coordinate this arrest. Trillanes boarded a police van that brought him to the Makati Police Station. Booking procedures were fast, his mugshots taken. These were required so that he could post bail. In fact, Pia, earlier we saw video posted or sent to reporters by the NCRPO showing Trillanes in a calm and composed state as he was being subjected to the booking procedures, and even while he was being or his mugshots were being taken. Both supporters and critics of Trillanes showed up in small numbers today. The wetting whistleblower and Duterte supporter Sandra Cam went to the Senate earlier, Pia, and in fact attempted to block the van that Senator Trillanes was boarding just so that she could express her sentiments at the senator and members of the Liberal Party. She called them cowards, but on the other side of the fence, those who supported the senator, around 20 to 30 members of the Akbayan party list, went to the Makati RTC grounds to express their support for Senator Trillanes. Now, in contrast to the tension earlier in the Senate grounds, Pia, the Senate is now quiet. We still see members of the Senate security patrolling the premises, and things are somehow being given or returning to some sense of normalcy here in the Senate, Pia.
Paulo Barcelon there reporting live from the Senate. Senator Grace Poe weighing in on Trillanes' case. She tells CNN Philippines the embattled senator's colleagues are sympathetic to him. All right, let's we're going to have that soundbite, that short, brief interview with Senator Grace Poe in just a bit. In the meantime, let's speak first to the lawyer of Senator Trillanes, Ray Robles. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Attorney Robles. All right, we're going to have to get him back in just a bit. In the meantime, Malacanang telling CNN Philippines that President Duterte is aware of the arrest warrant issued against Trillanes. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the case will proceed.
Yan po talagang proseso, no? And I'm happy that Senator Trillanes is complying with the process, no? Because it's bailable anyway, no? It does not mean that he has to spend time behind bars. All he has to do is to post bail. No? But he also has to wait for an order from the court, no, setting him or approving his posting of bail for provisional liberty.
Okay. Secretary Roque, can you tell us if President Duterte is aware of what is going on right now? That Trillanes, for example, was at the Makati PNP earlier, mugshots taken, as we can see up on the screen on your left, and on the right, he's at Judge Alameda's sala right now.
Well, he knows about the court's decision. He has always said he will abide with the regional trial court. He has, in fact, told the military not to take any steps to apprehend him until a decision by the RTC has been issued. And now that it's been issued, let the process proceed.
Were those his exact words? Did he say anything else? Wala siyang ibang comment?
Well, alam niyo po, dating prosecutor ang Pangulo, no? So alam na alam po niya ang proseso, no? So let the process proceed. The case against him will proceed and he will have his day in court.
Where is the president right now, sir?
He's in Malacanang.
And his yung event niya today?
Yes, he has a whole lot of events, mostly related to presentation of credentials of diplomats.
I see. So there won't be any opportunity for a speech?
I don't think so. It's business as usual.
Okay, all right. Anything else you can add, Secretary Roque? Because we were also trying to get in touch with Secretary Menardo Guevara. It would be interesting to hear from him because it was Secretary Guevara who spoke for the government on the morning of September 4 to talk about this Proclamation 572.
Well, our congratulations as well to Secretary Guevara and his team of prosecutors for this order from the Regional Trial Court.
All right. Anything else, Secretary Harry Roque?
Yun lang po for now.
Let's go back to the lawyer of Senator Trillanes, Ray Robles. Attorney Robles, good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening to your viewers.
Attorney, what are you planning next? Are you going to question this arrest order that was issued by the Makati RTC?
Well, the senator has already posted bail. So, insofar as questioning the arrest order, rather than risking him being arrested, we already he actually surrendered to the CIDG, and the proper police bookings were made, and he was able to post bail this afternoon, as you probably know.
Yeah. Yes.
So, insofar as the ruling of the resolution of the court, in fact, we have just received it this afternoon. We are analyzing it and make a decision whether or not to file a motion for reconsideration.
What are you talking about? The order of Judge Alameda saying na November 20 or 21 na yung hearing and prosecution will present evidence?
No. The resolution of Judge Alameda granting the motion of the prosecutors to, in effect, revive the case and issue a warrant in this case.
Okay. Yes.
We just received it this afternoon at the time that we posted bail, so we have yet to study it at length, and we will explore the possibility of filing a motion for reconsideration and elevating it, if possible, to the higher courts.
To the Supreme Court?
If it is possible. We'll have to review. We haven't actually been able to analyze it yet.
Oo. Pero, I mean, sumama na siya sa PNP, pumunta siya ng Makati RTC, nag-post ng bail, tapos ngayon, ke-questionin nyo yung pag-schedule.
The ruling.
The scheduling that, because earlier I was speaking to Prosecutor Fadulion and he was saying, and well, the order of Judge Alameda says that prosecution will present evidence on November 21st. And kumbaga, babalik lang tayo doon sa punto where you left off, where the case was abruptly stopped. Kumbaga, i-revive na talaga ang kaso. As a matter of fact,
kaya nga po pinag-aaralan namin mag-file ng motion for reconsideration doon sa resolution na inalabas ngayong araw na ito ni Judge Alameda.
Yeah. I was asking Prosecutor Fadulion also to explain how this is possible, because everybody understands the legal process as once a case is dismissed, then it is as good as an acquittal. It can no longer be revived. And he was saying the basis for that is precisely Proclamation 572, which he says has not been declared unconstitutional. And the Supreme Court, in that earlier ruling, had said that they didn't feel the need to issue a TRO based on your client's petition.
Yes, but the Supreme Court required the Solicitor General to comment, no? And they haven't actually decided on whether or not to allow the petition. If they decide to allow the petition, then there is a possibility, no? If they entertain the petition, that a ruling one way or the other could be made by the Supreme Court. No?
A ruling on Proclamation 572 itself?
Yes, on the constitutionality or legality of the proclamation, then that would be a prejudicial question to the continuation of the proceedings in the court below.
Or in other words, if or when the Supreme Court rules on the constitutionality of 572, and if they say, if or when they say na unconstitutional ito, then everything grinds to a halt. Ganun ba yun? That is what you're hoping for.
What we're saying is that there is an issue before the Supreme Court regarding the constitutionality and legality. And if that proceeding would continue, it is a prejudicial question as to whether or not the case that they have now reopened, apparently, there is a possibility that that ruling will not be consistent with what is happening right now. And it could be a basis for the suspension of the proceedings. That's one possibility.
Yeah. So in that case, if you feel that there is that possibility that the Supreme Court will rule that way, then you wouldn't need to question the resumption of the hearings or the revival of this case. In other words,
no, in fact, we can raise the issue. We can raise the issue because the issue of whether or not the assumption of the RTC apparently in allowing the proceedings to proceed is that the proclamation is constitutional, but there is no ruling on that yet. No.
Yeah, Attorney Robles. Yes. Attorney Robles, earlier, General Balahadia, the Senate Sergeant at Arms, spoke to the media describing what had happened in the Senate lounge, where he said he turned over custody of Senator Trillanes to the Philippine National Police. I suppose you were there at the lounge, and I wanted to.
It was actually.
Yeah, tell us exactly what happened there from your.
It was actually Senate President Soto who turned over Senator Trillanes to General Eliazar of the CIDG.
No, NCRPO. NCRPO.
I'm sorry, NCRPO.
Yes.
As previously committed by the Senate President. So that was, and it was actually Senator Trillanes who went to Senator Soto so that this could be accomplished, because that was the agreement before. The senator committed to Senator Soto that the moment a valid warrant of arrest from our courts will come, he will voluntarily go with the authorities. And that's what happened.
Puntahan kita tapos surrender na lang ako, ganon. And can you tell us what the exchange of words were like when that was going on?
Well, as the father of the Senate, Senator Soto made sure to turn over properly the person of Senator Trillanes to General Eliazar at hinabili niya na kindly make sure that he is taken care of. Well, I understood that to mean that all his rights will be properly respected and he is treated honorably as a member of the Senate.
And of course, safe and secure.
Yes.
We understand that the senator even chose to ride in the police vehicle.
Well, because that's standard procedure. He did not want any special treatment. In fact, we went through all of the police processes, despite the fact that bail has been previously granted to him. We could have omitted the booking procedure, but apparently that's what the police wanted, and he obliged, because it is standard procedure.
Yes.
And although he already has a file with the court, complete with all of those documents, he chose to just go through it because he did not ask for any special treatment.
Para wala nang problema.
Yes.
All right. And so you were there also at. So you were there when he and General Eliazar went down to the parking basement. Although you did not ride with him, no, on the ride.
I did.
I
was with him all
okay.
along.
Mula Senado hanggang, because I thought I saw you in the video getting into another vehicle when you left Makati PNP going to Makati RTC.
No, I rode with him.
Okay, all right. And can you just tell us what the atmosphere was like inside the police vehicle from the Senate to the Makati Makati PNP to RTC?
The gentlemen from the PNP who were who actually fetched the senators were high-ranking police officers, and they were gentlemen. They are, I think, graduates of the PNPA and as well as the PMA. So I think as a fellow law enforcement or armed forces member, they showed also proper decorum and proper respect for each other. The senator was actually chatting with General Eleazar as a superior, as a upperclassman in the PMA, and he properly addressed him as sir. And General Eleazar was very relaxed and very candid, and they were talking about life at the PMA and everything that they have gone through and how this is part of life. What happened this afternoon is just part of doing one's duty. With the senator doing performing his role, and the policemen who were there were also performing their particular roles.
Well, Senator Trillanes, of course, a graduate of the PMA Class 95, and he's upperclassman, General Guillermo Eleazar of the NCRPO, graduate of PMA Class 87. Well, Attorney Robles, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We hope to speak to you again very soon.
Thank you, Ms. Pia. Thank you, and good evening to your viewers.
This is Breaking News on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back after this short break. This is Breaking News on CNN Philippines. Big story today. Senator Antonio Trillanes ordered arrested by Makati Regional Trial Court. The senator turned himself over with the help of Senate President Tito Soto to the Philippine National Police, led by top officials, led by General Guillermo Eleazar of the NCRPO. From the Senate, they proceeded to the Makati the Makati PNP station first, and then the Makati Regional Trial Court, where our Rex Remigio is joining us live from. Rex, take us through what happened there. Give us all the details.
It was really chaotic here a while ago when Senator Antonio Trillanes posted his bail on his rebellion case. The security was really tight, but employees managed to take photos and selfies with him. Opposition Senators Kiko Pangilinan, Bam Aquino, and Riza Ontiveros also joined him in going here. He was accompanied by Metro Manila Police Chief Guillermo Eleazar and his lawyer Reynaldo Robles. The fierce critic of President Duterte paid 200,000 pesos for his temporary liberty. Trillanes insists the fight goes on. He says he is not afraid and he will fight for democracy until the end. Trillanes looks defiant. His face was serious. He was also not talkative when he was being asked of questions. The Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 150 earlier this afternoon issued an arrest warrant against him. The court also issued a whole departure order on him, barring him from leaving the country. This came 3 weeks after the president revoked the amnesty granted to him 7 years ago. The court justified the issuance of arrest warrant and whole departure order against Senator Antonio Trillanes. Clerk of Court Josfa Valencia says Trillanes failed to show any proof he filed an amnesty application. Valencia explains the original copy was not presented or any duplicate copy or even a mere photocopy. This includes the proof that he personally accomplished and filed with the Defense Department his amnesty application form. So just to backtrack, when Judge Elmo Alameda released the order, he subsequently issued the arrest warrant and the HDO. This was received by the arresting officer led by Makati Police Chief Senior Superintendent Rogelio Simon and Sheriff Joseph Carrion. Then they served the arrest warrant to Trillanes at the Senate. They brought him from the Senate to the Makati City Police for booking procedures before they went here to post bail. Now it's up to the prosecution to present new evidence on November 21st regarding his failure to file an amnesty application before the Defense Department. Meanwhile, his arrest warrant as well as the whole departure order against him was already recalled for now by the Makati RTC Branch 150. Pia.
Rex Remigio there reporting live from the Makati Regional Trial Court. Supporters and critics alike taking to social media on the day the court ordered Trillanes' arrest. Rolly Santiago Ismael on Facebook welcomes this development, saying, Quote, buti naman at matagal-tagal na ring nag-check-in sa Senate Hotel, unquote. Now, this netizen wishes Trillanes good luck and says, natapos na ang pagdaldal mo. Twitter user Denmark Singson meanwhile questions why some people praise what he calls an unjust act of the administration against Trillanes. Another netizen says President Duterte is a master of distraction. He explains on the day the president's approval and trust ratings dropped, the arrest of one of his staunch critics comes out. What do you think? Join the conversation. Visit our website, cnnphilippines.com, or follow us on social media at CNN Philippines. We'd love to hear from you. All right, now we're being joined by Senate President Tito Soto. Sir, thank you very much for taking this call.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. Well, Senator Soto, can we begin, sir, with the arrest or the turnover of custody from the Senate, from you, of Senator Trillanes to the police officials? What happened there, po, sir?
Well, I was informed this afternoon that there was a warrant of arrest issued by the RTC in Makati, and the Sergeant at Arms was informed that the CIDG and General Elizar, together with the Chief of Police of Makati, were on their way to the Senate. So I think Senator Trillanes was informed. So when I told him about it, he knew about it already, and I knew that he was going to face the warrant because that was what he promised me. That as long as there is a warrant, he will face it.
Well,
so
that's
what happened. So that's what happened.
Well, that's also what Attorney Robles was saying, that yun naman daw talaga yung what Senator Trillanes promised you, and that's what happened. And well, it's a good thing that apparently the way this arrest and or turnover of custody turned out, things turned out well.
Oh yes. What we did was that I called the session first at 3 o'clock, and then I suspended it after the call of the roll. And then we asked that I brought Senator Trillanes to the lounge at the back and asked that General Elizar come up, and I wanted to talk to him first. And that's what happened. So it was very orderly, nothing untoward, everything was fine. The charge that was read to him, the warrant was read to him, his rights were read.
Yung pagiging orderly nitong lahat, sir, was there parang a prior meeting between you and the other senators and several officials of the AFP and the PNP, or were there at least kumbaga prior conversations para maging maayos ang lahat? In other words, what you wanted was yung maging maayos lang lahat, maging orderly.
We didn't have actually any official dialogue with anyone. We just followed what was the SOP, so to speak. You know, we just followed the SOP, and everything turned out fine. We did not have any prior dialogue with any of the officials of the Philippine National Police.
Or the armed forces?
I beg your pardon?
Or the armed forces, sir?
The armed forces, yes. None of the armed forces had a dialogue with any of us.
So, Senator Soto, moving forward po, Senator Trillanes preferring, if I'm not mistaken, to stay at the Senate, that's okay with you, right? How do moving forward, what happens next? How do you see things turning out?
Well, it is up to the senator, because he was given a bail. And then any sitting senator can stay in his office anytime. We cannot prevent anyone from not staying or staying in his office for whatever time he wants. But I have already informed Senator Trillanes that the procedure that we follow, just to make sure that we're not wasting people's money, I'm cutting off the air conditioning of the whole building from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day, and none on weekends. So whether a senator stays there or not, it's up to him.
All right, Senator Soto, anything else you'd like to share with us?
Well, the members of the Senate were just following the rule of law. We just followed standard procedures. You can rest assured that we will keep on working. We will try to be as hardworking and as efficient as ever, whether we will be only 21, 20, or 19. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Senate President Tito Soto. Thank you, sir, for joining us this evening. Now, earlier, I spoke to Acting Prosecutor General Richard Fadulyon about this development on Trillanes' case. He was among the Justice Department's team of prosecutors who filed an urgent motion for an arrest warrant and a whole departure order against the senator at Makati RTC Branch 150. Here's that interview.
The Department of Justice acted on the basis of Proclamation 572, which directed us to work on the cases that were filed previously as against Senator Trillanes. Now, as far as the case in RTC Branch 150, before the grant of amnesty, the status was that he was out on bail, having been granted bail by the court, and then the order dismissing the case by reason of his application for amnesty was issued after. Okay, now, as a consequence of that, he was out. There was no more case as against him. Now, by virtue of our Proclamation 572, which declared his amnesty void ab initio, the proclamation itself stated that the reason for declaring it void ab initio is the failure of Senator Trillanes to comply with the minimum requirements of the Proclamation 75, the one that granted him amnesty. And if you look at Proclamation 75, the form itself that was provided for by the Amnesty Commission created by then Secretary Gasmin, it stated several requirements, among them the filing of the application, the admission of guilt of the offenses charged, and that would be the offense of coup d'etat and rebellion, and then a recantation of the statements that were issued. In addition to that, there should have been a narrative or a statement of facts supporting these recantations or admissions. During the hearing, it appeared that, one, they could not produce any copy of the supposed application that Senator Trillanes is claiming to have filed. And two, there is no showing that he did in fact comply with the requirements stated in the form itself approved by the Amnesty Commission. And I think on the basis of that, the court agreed with the arguments of the prosecution, saying that if the order was premised on an act or an inaction on the part of the accused, meaning to say the amnesty which he applied for did not conform to all the requirements, or his application did not conform to all the requirements, then it naturally follows that the order dismissing it is likewise defective.
And that's why,
yes.
And that's why, Prosecutor Fadulyon, what you're saying is that it is void ab initio, void from the very beginning, and bumabalik siya sa status niya before the amnesty was given. That is your argument,
that is correct.
No?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct po.
Oh. Now, the issue about having applied for an amnesty, and I'm sure you've seen this, you're probably on social media, so you know what people are saying, and many arguments about this, no? Na ang daming nagsasabi na, paano na ito? Halimbawa, meron kaming i-apply sa gobyerno. Natural, minsan, hindi naman tinatago yung kopya ng application form. So, how does that work?
Well, ganito po, no? Yung iba hong nag-apply, I think wala naman silang dapat ipangamba. Dahil sa ang pinag-uusapan ho natin dito at ang aksyon po ng department ay lamang po doon sa Proclamation 572. At nakatuon po ito doon kay Senator Trillanes. Now, what is difficult to believe, Pia, is that, you know, Senator Trillanes was under detention for a long period of time, several years. And here you are now, you have a document which is actually the document which will facilitate your release, no? The application for amnesty, and it appears to have been missing. Ang nakapagtataka ito, parang mahirap naman paniwalaan na ang isang dokumento na napakahalaga ay hindi man lang pinag-ingatan.
Hindi pinag-ingatan, Nino?
Hindi pinag-ingatan ni Senator Trillanes.
Ano, Senator Trillanes? So dapat meron siyang kopya ng kanyang sariling application ng amnesty.
Yes, ma'am. Yan po ang hinahanap ng
pero dapat yung gobyerno din. Pero dapat yung gobyerno din, yung Defense Department, yung Armed Forces in this case, dapat sila rin ang may kopya, hindi ba?
Well, if in fact there was an application that was filed, That is the contention also. Ang sinasabi namin, kung meron talagang application na final si Senator Trillanes, then dapat on record ito. No, dapat nasa record po ito. Lumalabas po sa records na hindi po makita at wala pong papeles na nandoon.
Yeah. When you say records, Prosecutor Fadulion, you're referring to that certification issued by a colonel in J1 of the AFP saying na wala silang makitang records. Right? So why is Senator Trillanes saying na ito yung mga records ko, ito yung amnesty, ito yung sulat ni yung letter halimbawa ni former Defense Secretary Voltaire Gasmin, etc.
Yes, he's talking about the certificate of amnesty issued to him by Secretary Gasmin. He's talking about the ad hoc committee memorandum that was supposedly filed in court. But here, we're talking about the application form itself, Ma'am Pia, na sinasabi na patunay na number one, na siya talaga ng application at nag-comply po siya sa lahat ng requirements na nakatuon at nakasaad doon sa application form na yun.
This can be a very interesting but a very long discussion, Prosecutor Fadulion. So I guess in very short and simple language, what happened was nakahanap kayo ng butas kay Senator Trillanes. Itong issue ng the failure na pag-ingatan, itong application form, etc. So we're here at this point, Prosecutor Fadulion. The other part of the question has to deal with how was it possible that if a case is dismissed, pwede siyang ma-revive? And then sabi mo, kasi nga yung basis natin, Proclamation 572, which voids that amnesty. And if the amnesty is voided, and therefore the result of that voiding of the amnesty, which is the dismissal of the case, kumbaga, never happened.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. Because,
yes.
Prosecutor, you're a lawyer, no? So you, of course, you would know better. Because when a case is dismissed, and if this is has nothing to do with amnesty, no, given to anyone, when a case is dismissed, it is as good as an acquittal. Right? In other words, dismissed, hindi mo na pwedeng ibalik yung kaso, bumalik ka doon sa kaso ng taong yan dahil nga dismissed. Di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Para kang na-acquit.
Yes, let me explain. No? Yung sinasabi namin, ang sinasabi ng Proclamation 572, void yung kanyang amnesty application. Remember that his case was dismissed by reason of his supposed filing of an application for amnesty under Proclamation 75.
Yes.
So, ang korte ay naniwala na siya po ay nag-file ng kanyang application. Wala pong kasalanan ng korte nito because they had no way of validating whether all the requirements were actually complied with. Now, since hindi alam ng korte kung talagang siya ay nag-file o hindi, dahil nag-file lamang siya ng motion sa korte na sinasabi, nag-apply ako ng amnesty, ginrant ng korte at dinismiss yung kaso. Ito na ngayon, after in-re-examine ito, tinignan, na pinag-aralan, siya ba ay nag-comply? At lumalabas na hindi siya nag-comply. Ang tanong ngayon, that judgment, no, since ang basis niya is void from the very start, the order granting the dismissal likewise is affected at least to the extent of, insofar as it applies to Senator Trillanes. Now, sasabihin niya final and executory, matagal na ito, ilang taon na ang nakalipas. There is such a thing as if a judgment is void, no right emanates from it. A government cannot be stopped from questioning or raising the issue, no, to try and rectify the error that was committed. Para mga sinasabi is, dahil ba nagkaroon ng pagkakamali si Senator Trillanes na hindi siya nag-file at ang korte ay napapaniwala niya, ang gobyerno ay wala ng habol para iwasto itong pagkakamali na ito. So talagay namin po hindi.
Prosecutor Fadulion, itong amnesty na binigay sa iba pang mga tao, no, kabilang na mga military rebels, are those in jeopardy also?
Well, I don't want to look into that just yet. Right now, our focus is just on 572. And like I said, the subject is as far as the application of Senator Trillanes only is concerned.
Okay. So kanina, di ba, binanggit na nga natin, bumabalik siya sa status niya before the amnesty. On November 2021, no, yung hearing na sinet ni Judge Alameda. So parang babalik tayo dun sa point na prosecution na ang magpe-present ng evidence. Correct?
Yes,
what kind of evidence, therefore, are you going to be presenting? Evidence about his participation in the
Manila Peninsula Siege, ma'am.
Sorry?
The evidence insofar as his involvement and participation in the Manila Peninsula Siege.
Manila Peninsula Siege. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe to us what kind of evidence that is? You're going to have to unearth that evidence because it's been what, 8 years? 7, 8 years, no, since...
Well, sa ngayon po, hindi ko po may disclose kung ano po specifically ang ebidensya na to, no? Kasi right now, we're also preparing for that eventuality that, when the court already directs the prosecution to present evidence, that we will, that's why we're looking into our records now para malaman po kung saan ho tumigil at nang sa ganun, we'll take off from there and start presenting evidence.
Okay. Kanina sinabi na nga ni Senator Trillanes, democracy lost, and he had, very choice words for the president. Again and again, he says this is harassment harassment of him. How do you react to this as a lawyer, as a prosecutor?
Well, ang sa amin ho, no, as far as we, the Department of Justice are concerned, there was a portion of Republic Act, of Proclamation 572, which directed the prosecutors precisely to work on the revival of these cases. Proclamation 572 has not been declared unconstitutional. So it's a valid proclamation. Sinusunod po namin yun. Ngayon, ayaw ho namin ihalo ito sa politika kung ano man ho yung pananaw ni Senator Trillanes nito, harassment o meron kaaway. Ayaw na ho namin pumunta dun sa punto na yun kasi ang amin lamang po is nililimitahan namin doon sa aspeto na involved yung korte. Kaya sa korte ho kami nagpunta.
Okay. Last two questions. The second to the last question is that nabanggit mo, this has not been declared unconstitutional. The senator went to the Supreme Court asking for this to be stopped. The Supreme Court saying in so many words na no, we can't do that. And as a matter of fact, they said, wait, let me get that particular quote. There is no extreme and urgent necessity for the court to issue an injunctive relief. Considering that the respondents have acknowledged Senator Trillanes' right to due process. But now that, now he's been arrested, posted bail, released, provisional liberty, etc., the case goes on, can he still file can he still go to the Supreme Court to stop this, revival of an old case?
I really don't know what course of action Senator Trillanes or his legal team will take, no? But certainly, we have also to look into the pending petition which is before the Supreme Court. I do not know if he will raise the matter there or decide to file a separate action. It's something that I think best will be answered by the team of Senator Trillanes.
Okay. And my last question, Prosecutor Fadulion, is before you went to Judge Elmo Alameda of Branch 150, you went to, was it 148, no? Kay Judge Andres Soriano.
Yes, ma'am.
At humingi din kayo, you asked for the same thing, an alias warrant and HDO, but you didn't get it from Soriano, you got it from Alameda. Bakit kaya?
Well, right now ho, ma'am, hindi pa naman ho tapos yung proseso dun sa 148, no? It takes a longer time kasi mas parang napabilis itong kay Judge Elmo Alameda for the reason that he set it for hearing, he heard oral arguments, and right then, he asked us to mark our evidence already. And on the basis of that, rule on the evidence that we submitted. As far as RTC Branch 148, there are still exchanges of pleadings that are going on. And we hope to see the case be resolved also, at least our motion will be resolved also not later than next week po.
And there is that possibility that 148 will also issue an arrest warrant against the senator?
Well, I do not want to speculate on the action of RTC 148, ma'am.
Yeah.
Pero ang tawag dito, if we're talking about possibilities always there.
Okay. Final words, Prosecutor Fadulion?
Ang sa amin, the reason why, like I said, ulitin ko, kaya kami nagpunta sa husgado because sa tingin po namin, yun po ang tamang pamamaraan. Idaan po ito sa putong legal. No? And that any arguments for or against it should be raised before the courts. No? As far as the politics behind it is concerned, we're not privy to that, and we're not even taking that into consideration in the actions that we take.
When we come back, we're going to show you the video uploaded by the Senate, uploaded on Twitter by the Senate, of the arrest or turnover of custody of Senator Trillanes from Senate President Tito Soto, Senate authorities to the PNP. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Again, our top story. Senator Antonio Trillanes IV out on bail for his rebellion case at the Makati Regional Trial Court. Trillanes paid 200,000 pesos at the Makati RTC Branch 150 after undergoing booking procedures at the Makati Police Station. The court earlier issued an arrest warrant, an alias warrant, and a whole departure order against him, granting a petition from Justice Department prosecutors. Now, here's that video we're talking about, uploaded by the Senate, showing the moment police officials served the warrant of arrest on Senator Antonio Trillanes. Earlier, Senate President Tito Sotto had turned over custody of Senator Trillanes to Director Guillermo Eleazar, standing there at the right, to Trillanes' left. He is the chief of the NCRPO, and on the very right, you can see Senator Bam Aquino. On the left, yung likod na lang nakikita ni Attorney Ray Robles, and that is Senate President Tito Sotto. On the very left, that is his back is to the camera, but this is the video of the actual moment. Now, this happened, of course, at the Senate lounge. And that is what we were talking about earlier with Senate President Tito Sotto. The court said it found factual and legal basis for President Duterte's proclamation that voided the senator's amnesty as he failed to comply with the requirements. Trillanes' amnesty was granted in 2011. The former Navy lieutenant was involved in a move to topple the Arroyo administration over a decade ago. The senator, however, maintains he applied for amnesty and admitted his guilt. He says his arrest is part of the Duterte administration's crackdown on critics. Now, Malacanang telling CNN Philippines President Duterte is aware that an arrest warrant has been issued against Trillanes. Earlier this afternoon, I spoke with presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, and he says Trillanes' case will proceed.
Yan po talagang proseso, no? And I'm happy that Senator Trillanes is complying with the process, no? Because it's bailable anyway, no? It does not mean that he has to spend time behind bars. All he has to do is to post bail, no? But he also has to wait for an order from the court, no? Setting him or approving his posting of bail for provisional liberty.
Okay. Secretary Roque, can you tell us if President Duterte is aware of what is going on right now? That Trillanes, for example, was at the Makati PNP earlier, mugshots taken, as we can see up on the screen on your left, and on the right, he's at Judge Alameda's sala right now.
Well, he knows about the court's decision. He has always said he will abide with the regional trial court. He has, in fact, told the military not to take any steps to apprehend him until a decision by the RTC has been issued. And now that it's been issued, let the process proceed.
Were those his exact words? Did he say anything else? Wala siyang ibang comment?
Well, alam niyo po, dating prosecutor ang Pangulo, no? So alam po niya ang proseso, no? So let the process proceed. The case against him will proceed, and he will have his day in court.
Where is the president right now, sir?
He's in Malacanang.
And yung event niya today?
Yes, he has a whole lot of events, mostly related to presentation of credentials of diplomats.
I see. So there won't be any opportunity for a speech?
I don't think so. It's business as usual.
Okay, all right. Anything else you can add, Secretary Roque? Because we were also trying to get in touch with Secretary Menardo Guevara. It would be interesting to hear from him because it was Secretary Guevara who spoke for the government on the morning of September 4 to talk about this Proclamation 572.
Well, our congratulations as well to Secretary Guevara and his team of prosecutors for this order from the Regional Trial Court.
All right. Anything else, Secretary Harry Roque?
Yun lang po for now.
And we continue to closely watch this story. This is breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Thanks for watching.
This is the newsroom on CNN Philippines. Tonight, Senator Antonio Trillanes now out on bail over a revived rebellion case. Hello and welcome. I'm Ruth Cabal. Thanks for joining us. We begin with this developing story. Senator Antonio Trillanes out on bail for his rebellion case at the Makati Regional Trial Court. Trillanes paid 200,000 pesos at the Makati RTC Branch 150 after undergoing booking procedures at the Makati Police Station. The court earlier issued an arrest warrant and a whole departure order against him, granting a petition from the Justice Department. Here's that video uploaded by the Senate on its social media page. It shows the moment police officials serving the warrant to Senator Trillanes. The court said it found factual and legal basis for President Duterte's proclamation that voided the former Navy lieutenant's amnesty as he failed to comply with the requirements. As a consequence, the court notes the revocation of the amnesty voids the dismissal of his rebellion case in connection with a move to topple the Arroyo administration over a decade ago. The amnesty was granted in 2011.
Wala po kasi na-present si Senator na hard copy of the amnesty application, which is the basis of President Duterte for a revocation of the amnesty granted by the former President Aquino.
Trillanes, however, maintains he applied for amnesty and admitted his guilt. But while he respects the decision of the court, Trillanes insists this is nothing but pure harassment by the administration.
Message to President Duterte.
Sana pinapanood niya yung proseso kasi balang araw pagdadaanan din niya.
Okay.
The prosecution will present new evidence on why he should be jailed on his rebellion case on November 21st. Trillanes may be facing a tougher challenge as the Justice Department still has a pending motion for an arrest warrant against him before another Makati court. This is about his non-bailable coup d'etat case. Trillanes says for now, he will remain in the Senate. It's now up to Judge Bartolome Soriano of Makati RTC Branch 148 that handled the coup d'etat case against Trillanes whether he would put the senator behind bars. Acting Prosecutor General Richard Fadulion tells CNN Philippines they expect the resolution on this case next week.
Hindi pa naman ho tapos yung proseso dun sa 148, no? It takes a longer time kasi mas parang napabilis itong kay Judge Elmo Alameda for the reason that he set it for hearing, he heard oral arguments, and right there, right then, he asked us to mark our evidence already. And on the basis of that, rule on the evidence that we submitted. As far as RTC Branch 148, there are still exchanges of pleadings that are going on. And we hope to see the case be resolved also, at least our motion will be resolved also not later than next week po.
Senate President Tito Soto describes the turnover of Trillanes to the police as orderly. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Soto says Trillanes made good on his promise to face the warrant.
I knew that he was going to face the warrant because that was what he promised me. That as long as there is a warrant, he will face it.
Well, that's what happened.
So that's what happened. We didn't have actually any official dialogue with anyone. We just followed what was the SOP, so to speak. You know, we just followed the SOP and everything turned out fine. We did not have any prior dialogue with any of the officials of the Philippine National Police.
Soto adds it is up to Trillanes if he chooses to remain in the Senate. What do you think about our top story tonight? Send us a message about the arrest of Senator Trillanes at CNN Philippines. We're also live on Facebook. We'll read your comments at the end of the show. And earlier we asked you about our top story. Senator Antonio Trillanes arrested for rebellion. Now he's out on bail. Y. Aguilar says early Christmas gift for the Filipino people. God bless Duterte. Chay Cabilla slams the Philippine justice system, calling it walang kwenta. Bibida Calvo says Trillanes should have just cooperated with the government to avoid all the hate he's getting now. Rufa Paigan asks why Trillanes is enjoying comfort at the Senate. She says ibalik sa kulungan yan and let him rot there. And finally, Lydia Indita Santos wants the government to focus on more important topics. She says, hay nako, mas matutuwa ako kung solved na ang traffic sa EDSA. Thank you very much for your comments. And that's the newsroom tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Ruth Cabal. Good evening.